Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires, in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs,
We are awake, we are not alone.
if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
We are striving for more.
start taking iron today.
I'm starting off fresh and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good.
Thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Happy Friday, my friend.
And TGIF to you all. Welcome to Iron Realm Media's Have No Sphere. It is definitely a Friday, and I sure missed the hell out of you guys last Friday. And I guess we do have a little bit of catching up to do in that regard. But before we get into that, let's just throw everybody else into the mix. Starting off in order of appearance, and because I haven't spoken to this lovely lady in far too long, this is Cammie Nodell. You might know her from her channel here on YouTube's Aisling717. Cammie, how are you, my dear?
Oh, I am doing good. It's good to be back. It was nice to have the week off. Lovely to be back. Busy times. 1 week from Oktoberfest. And in the background, picked out carpeting, and we've got experiments coming together and all kinds of fun stuff. Flattoberfest. 1 week from today at the park. 1 week from tomorrow. It's happening live. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. Mainly because I just sit here envious, staring longingly off to the east. But I'm excited for you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun.
Lots of fun coming quickly. I think we should move it on down. I'm boring by comparison.
Move it on down, then. We'll say hello to Mr. Zack Zabala. You might know him from his channel on the YouTube's Good Times for All. Zach, how you doing?
Hey there, Josh. Hey, everybody. Not too bad. Yeah, just getting everything all polished and prettied up and doing some last minute, buildings and whatnot. I don't like to build things too far ahead of when I plan on showing them, because then that just gives me a lot more time to lose stuff. So I spent 2.5 hours, 3 hours today taping things in a circular tube cylinder thingy, just to get everything all nice and snug. I put multiple layers of, I'll show you when we show it off. But yeah, just getting stuff ready for Flattoberfest. Yeah, so excited. This is going to be awesome.
That's going to be badass. Gonna have some lucky kids running around there. Just
Oh, I can't wait to see their faces.
The excitement of the possibilities in their world without all the conditioning of all the shit that we can't do. It's just not possible. It has not been heaped upon them yet. And they're going to
Well,
come
yeah,
in
in
and
school, what do they
experience
get?
this.
In school, they get 5 minutes of maybe a video, or I got a picture in a book. You know, that's what I got shown. No practical examples, no demonstrations live, and then a bunch of equations to explain all of it that they want you to remember. What child wants to do that? Give them it like it's a toy. Let them play with it. Let them figure it out. No, school is not a place for intelligent people. We'll just leave it at that. But I agree, Josh, 100%.
I was even thinking about this just the other day. I remember in elementary school sort of being taught some of the things that you can do with the compass, like a pencil when you draw a circle, that kind of compass, and just how you can measure segments and make other circles, and just the way you can measure and continue on with similar sized circles. It was just really fascinating to me. I remember even as a kid thinking, having that feeling like, oh, there's something really magical that's going on here. It's not just a coincidence that all these things, all these numbers and measurements can just happen to line up to make all these perfect circles and beautiful fucking patterns. I said, there's got to be something more here. And that's it. That was
No,
nothing.
yeah, there was. That's called fractals in sacred geometry. There was everything you recognize it as a child. It's so obvious as a child. It's same with the spirograph. It's right in your face. It's beautiful. It's irresistible.
Yep.
And they take the magic away and they turn it all into equations. And that, like, I even want to later on in the show, after we've introduced people, do some things back. Because I taught a science teacher in under 2 minutes about the Faraday effect. And this, or not a science teacher, an art teacher, a kindergarten through 5th grade art teacher. And again, this is somebody that's a school teacher that avoids thinking about or even going with what Faraday is, because people forget it's not an equation on paper. It's not work to do. It's just simply an optical effect. That's all. Just an optical effect. It's something that you see with your eyes. It's something visual. It's not numbers on a page. But I digress. That's what they do to you in school, is they take that magic out that you felt while drawing those circles.
Yep. And that's why I'm so envious of those kids there at Flattoberfest. They're going to be able to experience that magic, and in such a profound, deep way, more than just in a room with 30 other kids playing with sharp, pointy things. They're like hands-on experiencing the mysteries of nature as described by grown-ass adults that are willing to look them in the eye and say, we don't fucking know. Look at this, though. This is cool as shit. So I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it, which brings me to a bit of a crossroads, because now I can't remember who the next was to come. So, right? I'm pretty sure Walt was last. I'm pretty sure Walt was last. So we're just going to roll right with it, because I said I was going to do it in order of appearance. And if I think Walt was last, that would make Miss Karen B next.
Woohoo!
You might know Karen from her channel here on YouTube, Karen B. So that works out well. Aptly named. Welcome, Karen. How you doing?
Well, thank you. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. I love you guys.
Oh, I love you.
Well,
Thank you.
This is how excited we are about Flattoberfest. We wanted to have you on to come talk about it even more, because you guys just have so many cool speakers. And just recently adding people, as I recall, just within the last not terribly long, I thought I saw another person added to your list of appearances going on there at Flattoberfest.
Who would that be?
Did I not see Eddie Bravo?
No.
Did I not see that name?
I know of.
I could have. No, I'm mixing that up with
That's a
The
Jaren's
Jaren and
online
Austin.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
mixing that
the
up with.
summit. Yes.
Mount Meru
the
Summit.
Mount Meru Summit. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. See, I'm
Yes. I
conflating
was like,
things.
Eddie Bravo's coming? Oh, shit.
This is why I
That's
better
cool.
just shut my fucking mouth and let you guys do all the talking, because I just always end up with my foot right in it.
I know. Yeah, no. It's just going to be us, flat earthers.
It's still going to be a badass time.
Mhm.
Again, I can't believe the amount of energy that it must require to put one of these things together, let alone a string of them consecutively. It's just got to be fucking exhausting.
It is. It's, it is a lot of work, but it's fun and it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. There's nothing like being surrounded by a bunch of other people who are on the same wavelength as you in real life. There's just nothing beats it. I mean, nothing. So, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I put up with a lot of crap, and yes, I get emails all the time. But why are you having it at a Shriner Center? Don't you know there's Masons and Freemasons, man? Why are you supporting the Freemasons? And I'm like, ugh. I'm not
Hey,
supporting the Freemasons. I
we
mean,
had
maybe a little bit, but Jesus.
one choice back in, what was it, 2020?
Yeah, in 2020, yeah,
When everybody was all mask retarded, this was the only place that would let us come and not tell us to wear masks.
exactly.
And they treated us amazing. That
They
staff that
love
worked,
us.
because they have their own staff that works like a cooking area. They have a kitchen stuff and a bar, and they loved us. They told Karen, "Come back next year."
Yeah, come back. They wanted me to come back last year, but they had already been booked for the weekend I wanted to use. So I went to the Magnolia Club, which wasn't big enough. So now we're back to the Shrine Club, and I added the other second room. So how the world works and all their cool stuff will be in a separate room from where the presentations are, which is going to be fantastic. So you
Yeah.
guys get to talk and just blah 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 all you want, and it won't be a big deal for the presenters who are in the other room. It's going to be great. It's going to be so fun. I love it.
That is
Yeah, I
awesome.
cannot wait. I'm getting excited. I'm getting nervous. You know how you get nervous before these things?
Well, yes.
She doesn't know. She's
Yeah.
probably never
Yeah.
experienced such a thing. Smooth sailing, nothing but smooth sailing. Once you say, "Hey, I think I should do one of these," it's easy. It's just nothing but things falling into place, things taking care of themselves. Almost no work required at all, I'm sure.
I get messages from people every now and then. They're like, I want to do something like this. What do I do? And I'm just like, I'm like, well, there's so many variables. It depends what country you're in, what kind of event, how many people do you want to have, what do you want to do there, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's just so many variables. I can't just say, well, you just do A, B, and C and voila.
Yeah.
What's
I
your
mean, do you
budget?
want to have presenters? Do you want it to be an art thing? Do you want it to be just a hangout? I mean, there's so many different variables. Like you said, there is no ABC about it.
Are you
No.
just going to be using
It's
your
up
life
to you.
savings, or will you be requiring a second mortgage on the home?
I mean, it's not that much, but yeah, you need to put a lot of money up front. That's the biggest thing. But and then if you're going to have music, that's one thing that really throws a wrench in the works, is like, because if you're just going to have speakers, that's different than having actual musicians play instruments, and the whole sound. That is a completely different dynamic, which I learned doing these things. And it's not easy to go back and forth. So I think I finally figured out the formula to smoothly transition from presentations into music. With having worked with Nathan a few events in a row now, I think we figured it out. So I'm super excited about this event just because I've done so many before. I feel like with this one, I know what I'm doing. I finally know what I'm doing. And it's going to be fun. And I got this guy
Yeah.
coming to video it, and we have lots more room because I got the second room for all the vendors and the exhibits to be in. So I think it'll just be a lot of fun.
And I've heard, I know James is going to be doing a little bit of like grab bag type stuff. He's going to be handing stuff out. I know Cammy and I have some stuff planned. We're just going to be handing out to people. I mean, there's going to be all kinds of little, like, just
there's
gifts
going to be
going
tons
out
of
there.
stuff going on that is
Yeah.
never going to make it on the website. I'm never going to be able to list it all. You're never going to know ahead of time what's going to be there. You're just not. That's why I like the name festival better than a conference, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to come or what you're going to leave with. And there's always all sorts of fun stuff going on that I'm just not going to list it on the website. There's just no way. You're going to know who's going to be there, who's going to be talking, and who's going to be playing music. And that's it.
That's it.
And then the rest is a big surprise.
Well, I know there's another guy.
I believe
who's
you're right.
sitting there.
I believe there is at least one more for right now. Another guy. You might know him as Flat Earth Head from the YouTubes. We all know and love him as Uncle
Facebone
Walt.
777. Oh wait, no, you probably don't know him as that.
Well, if you're going to
Everybody
email
out
him,
there.
then feel free to go ahead and throw an @gmail.com behind it and shoot him a whole email if you want to.
Absolutely.
That'd be fine.
You can do that. You can do that. You can find me as Twitter that way as well. For a while, that was my gamer tag, like yours there, and then I lost it on something, and then I got it back. Who knows? I'm here. Hey, did y'all hear Eddie fucking Bravo's going to be at the Plateau?
I heard that. That's going to be so cool.
I couldn't not.
You know
I
what?
could
Because
not.
the events are like right next to each other, I'm not surprised that it's going to get. You know
That's
what?
gonna
I
get-
hope.
Yeah, I shouldn't even have done it. I felt.
I
bad
hope
when
it
saw
sells more tickets.
Hey, there you go. Whatever it takes, babe. Whatever it takes. Fucking, hey, maybe he'll pop in to see what the fuck you nut jobs are up to. Who knows?
They won't be disappointed, even
man.
if Eddie
I
Bravo's
know.
not
It'll
there,
be
because we
amazing.
have a blast. And you know, it's like I got this email today from some guy. He was like, the title of the email is just my opinion. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be So he's like, I was thinking about going despite not being interested in any of the guests, but then I saw it was taking place at a Shriners Club, and that made certain my decision of not going. Just honest feedback. No need to get offended in any way, and no changing my mind. Thanks. Right? I'm like, okay. And so I replied, and I was like, here's my reply. I already know there are a whole bunch of people like you. This is my 5th event and my 3rd event at this venue. We always have a great time, so I don't get offended by people like you. I don't think about it at all. I'm too busy.
I'm not here.
That is awesome. We do have an actual caller because we said we were going to do some open lines, and I opened the lines, and as soon as I did,
Look
sure
at that.
enough, they just started
Yeah, it's like
calling in
magic.
without even me reading off a number or anything. Hi, caller. Thanks for calling in. Welcome to Have No Sphere on this fantastic Friday night.
Can I get a large
Hello?
pepperoni?
Hello. Hello.
Welcome. You're on Have No Sphere. Caller?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was on your live channel or live stream right now.
You are. You're probably trying to wait for the response by watching the live stream, and that's going to throw you off a little bit. So you might want to turn it down.
Yeah, that's gonna mess your day up.
And
You might
yeah,
as well turn that
that
off.
delay is going to mess you up real good.
Oh yeah, I just turned off the phone with playing the YouTube, so I'm just calling you on the other phone.
Ah, perfect.
Perfect.
How you
Cool,
doing?
cool. I'm good. I'm good. You guys recognize my voice? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to guess this
Nah.
is Angelo.
No, this is Flat Nasty, dog.
What's up,
Flat
Flat
Nasty.
Nasty?
Flat Nasty.
Well,
Is
they
that
call me
your,
Flatter Day Saints. bro.
YouTube handle?
yeah. Flatter Day Saints.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
How you
Flatter
doing?
Day Saints. All right. What's going on, man?
That is awesome.
I'm good. I'm good. I love it when you guys do the live call-ins. You know what I mean?
We don't do it often enough.
Yeah, we
I
don't.
know, dude. That's
So much
awesome.
time trying to prep and do things for a show, book guests, come up with ideas.
Right?
We should just throw our hands up in the air and just say, fuck it. We'll just do call-ins.
Right. Are you guys in California?
No,
Not at all.
we are spread out. Well, sort of spread out.
Okay.
No, we're
Right,
pretty
right,
spread out.
Well, there's 5 of us, and there's only really 3 different states.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. We're not quite as spread as we used to be. Speaking of that spread, I see you in chat, Rob. What's up, brother? Love you, miss you. Anyway, sorry. Little side note there. But yeah, we are spread, just not as far spread
Yeah,
as
we're
we
in like
once
St. Louis,
were.
New Orleans, and then South Carolina.
And North
South
Carolina.
Appalachia. Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool.
And how is it that I have never heard you referred to as Flat Nasty?
I know, right? I got to
really?
hear this story.
That is awesome. I would have one of those old school gas station like mechanic shirts with a name tag, and the name tag just says
Yeah.
Flat Nasty
Flat
on it.
nasty, right?
With like a tire, huh? With like a
Yeah.
tire, and I'm fixing the tire.
Exactly.
Nah, Flat Nasty's like my rap name. You know, every rapper has to have a rap name,
No, that's
like
good.
Slim Shady and Eminem. You know.
Hey, dude, I'm Cracker Z, given to me by
That's right.
a rapper from Gary, Indiana, no doubt.
Right, Gary,
Yeah.
dude. Flat out of Gary, huh? That's right. I'm living right here, like 15 minutes from the Black Swan. I just got barely like a little over 1,000 subs. I think I can live stream. I've never done a live stream though. I've been on Witz's live stream, and then when he handed me the bullhorn, I choked up. I was like, I don't know what to say, dude.
Yeah,
But
it ain't as
just
easy
gonna
as he
wait.
makes it look. That's for sure.
I know, dude. I know. I was out there in Isla Vista for like 6 hours with him, and he even
That's
turned off his
awesome.
live stream and did like a 45-minute thing solo, just about like medical stuff, you know.
So I
Yeah, that
feel
boy
like,
can spit it.
did I
Yeah, I
send you
can.
an invite to come on here, Flatter Day Saints, and completely
No, I
forget-
just seen it on YouTube.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah, I just saw the number. Yeah.
Because I know that on
Hey.
either my channel, my personal, or the IRM channel that I'm subscribed, and I see you live all the time, and I've probably typed out once or twice at least an invitation to come on. It's always ends up long-winded because we have 2 shows 3 times, and it's just this whole fucking thing, and I always get sidetracked, never finish the message, get bored, give
It's all
up,
good.
delete it, and just never send it. But I know I have wanted to have you on here, so I am super pumped that you actually called in. That's awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Vader and Anthony used to talk about you back when they were doing the Enclosed Cosmology Fellowship. Did I say it right?
I think so. That's been a hot minute ago, though, huh?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, it was a minute ago. I lose track of time sometimes, but yeah, it was probably at least a couple months ago.
Yeah, we've been out.
Maybe longer. I don't know, but yeah, you make music, right? I've heard some of your songs. I'm pretty sure that's you.
I don't make any kind of music. I just make a bunch of noise here, but Walt plays little guitar. Zach plays little guitar. We've had Lucas King on, LC King.
Yeah, Lucas makes amazing
He's
music.
quite the producer. He produces like actual music.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, dude, he's got a. I hope it's still in works. I hope he hasn't lost track of it. But yeah, he's working on one it's pretty good stuff, man. It's got a very new feel, very modern. Yeah, it's cool as hell. In fact, he's got me working on a solo that I just have no clue what to do with. We'll see what happens. That's all I can say. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man.
Hey, my girl got an iPad Pro, and I've been using it every day with a pen tool, making like memes and like thumbnails for my channel and stuff. If you ever go to my channel and check out some of the most recent thumbnails, I put it out there for any flat earthers. I'll do work for free if you guys like my work. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's
awesome. But just check out the art if you're interested.
I am grabbing a link to your channel because it was my personal YouTube channel that I was subscribed to.
Oh, cool.
So I'm just going to grab your channel link and share it with everybody.
Cool. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that.
No, thank
you. I'm not monetizing or anything. I'm not trying to make any money. I'm just trying to like make music for flat earthers who like are like, dude, there's no good flat earth. I mean, there's good flat earth music.
I dropped the link in our chat there on YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm talking all over you. I'm out of sync.
Yeah, no, you're good. But like, yeah, like Steve Grant and like ODD, they haven't put out anything in a really long time. And I've listened to their music so much. I've like memorized it word for word, and like it's cool and everything. But like, I'm like, trying to be the next generation who puts out music. It's for flat earthers, you know what I mean? And like a lot of it's like kind of funny, but you know, some of my stuff's serious, and like, you know, I just try to just you know, keep it light, you know what I mean, and not take anything like too seriously.
Oh yeah, can I play something? Can I play something?
Yeah. There's if you go to my playlist, if you go to the playlist and you scroll down, you'll see like it'll say like FDS flat rap music or like flat nasty playlist. And I have like 20 something songs, but I put like 14 of the best songs on there, so you can pick whatever one you want.
All right, let's try FDS flat. Oh, it just throws me right into one here. Let's just run through here. Oh, well, I'm just going to have to be this one, I think.
Yeah, I hope you got that.
Well, when I was a kid, nobody was nice. I was 6 years old. I found out there's no such thing as Alpo baby food. I mean, I don't get no respect from anyone.
Yeah, girl. I see you over there staring at me like Karen B. Why don't you come on over here before I get up a flashback?
Can you stop?
Oh my
Very first
God,
time I saw you, you was
Call
standing
my
there
shows and does creepy shit, and now I'm in his rap songs. I'm so uncomfortable right now. I can't even begin to tell you.
I didn't realize he calls in and does creepy shit.
I don't want to listen to rap songs about me by this guy who I happen to have blocked on my channels. I'm sorry. I was trying to be quiet, but then when I hear my name in the song, I'm done. I want to go. I want to leave right now, to be honest with you.
No, I get you. I didn't realize there was any sort of issue here. This is what I get for keeping my head down and not paying attention to what's going on around me.
Right. We definitely here don't know any drama. We keep up with none of it. So our apologies all around.
Yeah, that was not meant to make anybody here uncomfortable. So, hey, Flat Nasty, why don't we just maybe reschedule that for another time? And
I apologize, but I can't stand it. I can't freaking stand it. Like when somebody creeps you out and you block them and you're like, please leave me alone. Like I even said, just leave me alone. And then I'm sitting here and I got to listen to this guy in my ear holes and I'm trying to be quiet and be neutral. And then this rap song starts playing and the first thing I hear is my name. I'm fucking out. Done.
Nope, I didn't realize there was any sort of issue.
I'm sorry.
My apologies.
Can't.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't
It's not
realize.
your fault. It's not your fault. And I'm sorry. I can't.
Well, I don't think you should. Oh my gosh, I went to the restroom and so I had my mute button on. It turned off and it came up and it was horrible that he comes on and trolls Karen when she's on the show. People have no life. Sorry, Karen.
I
not
just
you.
feel like an ass all around.
Not you, sweetie. Not you.
And then I feel bad because then it makes me look like a jerk because then I'm like, okay, what the F, you know? And I don't want to be put in that. But
This
you know,
is what I
sometimes
love
people will
about
call you
adults. It's
and
okay
they'll
to
put
have
you-
boundaries. It's perfectly okay to
it's
have
fine.
boundaries, Karen, and I will fully respect the boundaries you want to set.
I
It's
love you,
not.
thank you.
There's an
But
issue
I-
here.
I
I
don't.
completely
I
respect
love
you.
you still. I
Most
just
likely because you
can't.
were on the show, Karen.
That could very well be. It's
I know
surprising. I've
immediately
never
as
heard
soon as
from
the
him.
phone started ringing and when you answered it, it was him. I know that's why he called and because it was I'm here, because that's what he does. Calls and he creeps me out. Don't just leave me alone, dude. Leave me alone. Like seriously, why? I have a man. His name is Ted Summer, and I don't need creeps making songs about me. I'm sorry, I just don't.
And you don't need to apologize for the boundaries you need to set. And it's not, I don't want to. Sounds kind of like I'm just saying this sort of offhand, but it really is a really serious comment that I'm making, especially when it comes to. I'm just going to be real sexist here, but women. I think women in general have throughout society been taught that their boundaries are meaningless and they just have to do whatever they're told. And when a woman sets boundaries and then maintains boundaries, well, then she's a bitch. Then she's just a bossy cunt for, wanting to not be put in uncomfortable situations and things. And it's gotta be such a fucking mind trip. As a guy, I just can't imagine experiencing it. All I can do is sort of look onward. But when I see this type of thing, especially now that I'm a little bit older and a little bit more mature, it really does sort of hurt my heart to hear someone just have to apologize for their boundaries and be like, look, this is what I want. And if you can't respect that, then fuck off. And I stand and applaud that stance. So yeah, don't
But
feel the need to
yeah,
apologize.
no, the other part is what they're training and this is what you see all over the place, and this is what the true Karens and that about is they teach us not to set boundaries or whatever you're a bitch if you set them. But if you don't set boundaries, what happens? What do you become? A victim. And boy, do they apply victim mentality. They'd so much rather have a victim in today's society, a victim of anything, than somebody that's grown up enough to set boundaries and say enough. And again, that's what they train you through the social media, and that is it's cool to be a victim of anything and everything. It's actually like if you want to be a victim, be a minority, be a woman, be weak. Go back and watch. Go back and look again when they talk about women breaking through the glass ceiling. Did they miss that we had queens, the queen, the top position for all these years? Go back and watch the old TV programs when they rang it on air, the 1930s, 40s, 50s. Take it back, read back 100 years, read Marie Curie and that. Women are victims or don't have to be victims. It's only when you don't set boundaries. Again, and that's where they'll play the bitch card. But I like bitches. I'm on bitches brew. I'll take a bitch over a victim any day. I will. It's the bitches that are my friends, not the victims.
All right. Would you like to change the subject, Karen?
Sure.
Okay.
No
I would
pressure.
like to show you guys something that's like Oktoberfest.
Up, you're cutting in and out, Zach.
He is electric. You know that's going to happen.
Oh, is it doing it already?
I'm electric. All right,
No way, it's already starting to mess up.
Well, it wasn't roboting as much as it felt like you lost speaker where your voice was. It felt like your mouth was nowhere near the microphone.
Okay. How's that?
Much better.
Okay, now you're a liar, Latter-day Saints. I'm not even going to delete that comment because, wow, that song isn't about you. In fact, if it offends you, take it off my channel. But, okay, maybe it's not about me, but my name's in the first line, and I really don't care about you talking about my name. Oh, CSV, why did you take it down? And for the record, and then it says, and for the record, I didn't come here because you were on here, and you've never mentioned or said anything. That's a lie. You know I have you blocked on my channels. I've seen you talk about it in other chats. That's a lie. You know, and I've said, leave me alone. So don't lie. You're lying. And I'm going to tell you that you're lying. And I'm going to say it in front of God and everybody. Just so you know. All right. That's it.
Oh, I have to do on there too, just because I'm on my rant and roll. And again, it's really annoying, but that is moderating chat rooms. Number one troll behavior is they provoke, they prod, they name call, they da-da-da-da. And the second you go back and you respond, they cry victim and when I didn't do anything. That is like the number one most annoying.
Oh yeah, they want to play the victim. Yes.
Uh-huh.
They go around creeping you out, acting like a creep, and then you call them out on it, and they're like, I never. Get out of here with that.
It's transparent. All right, Zach, we're moving on now. We lost Zach.
Yeah, he finally zapped and
There we
probably
go.
went into a pure rainbow.
All right, it's the good stuff.
All right. So this is, I did show this a little bit one time on Melodome with my small Tesla coil, but I have the noble gases in test tubes. Let me see if I can get this thing working. You guys seeing my ugly face? Okay, let me turn that around. Come on. There we go. Okay. So before I get it all going crazy, and so we have, in order, we have neon, krypton, argon, nitrogen 2, just air, it's just all of them mixed, CO2, xenon, and helium. I have oxygen as well, but it really doesn't light up with the strength of my Tesla coil. This only takes 24 volts max, and it's just not enough to really ignite the oxygen. But I'm going to have it so children of all ages can come up and, play with it and look at it and do all kinds of neat stuff with it. But what we're going to do, we're going to turn it on, turn it all the way up real quick. Let's get you on, and let's get you on. There we go. Okay. Turn it down just a hair. All right. But yeah, you'll be able to come over and, play with it. They do some weird, crazy stuff. I'm not even touching it. I'm just getting near it. But yeah, I think this would be fun for children to, that's just air. It looks more purple in person. The camera really doesn't do it justice.
But
And
looking
yeah,
at,
it'll be,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step in. It's just impossible not to see sunset when you're looking at these sunrise and sunset. I'm an evening person, but beautiful, Zach.
but yeah, this is the stuff children should be shown at a very young age to get excited about physics and science, and they should be able to play with it, you know? And I made these little things to hold them. I mean, if the test tubes break, they break. I know things happen. Children will be children. But yeah, I think this would be a good addition to Flattoberfest. And then I'm going to be really cranking up the electrostatics on the Van de Graaff generator, and we're going to do the anti-gravity. I don't care what the humidity is. We're going to show people what makes things go up and down.
It's gonna be epic.
Yeah.
We need
And
to
I'm
make
going to
sure
have
we
to,
get the video guy over there to record all of it.
yeah, I got to make sure. That's one thing I need to tell people too, because usually the Van de Graaff generator you can touch no problem, even at its strongest potential. I mean, it might zap you to where you feel it. You might even see a little white flash, but it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, just
Um,
ignore those synapses that are fried.
yeah, but
It'd be all right. You'll
with the
make new
Leyden
ones.
jars connected that I'm going to be building to
Ah,
build that extra potential, then you start getting into amperage and things like that, and then I don't want to say dangerous, but if you have a bad heart or if it's a small child,
Josh, don't go.
I don't want to take that chance. So yeah, that's a good
Give me
thing that
share
we're
power,
talking
please, Josh,
before
and
this.
everyone
Oh, sorry.
else, if
You're
you
the
don't mind.
one person.
Yeah, I figured I was being singled out. I feel like Karen now. Damn
I'm pretty sure Karen has power.
it. I meant the singled out part.
Oh.
Anyway, that joke didn't even land. All right. Fuck, my comedy chops sucking today. All right, so last night on the way to the show, Michelle was like, look. And so I looked, and this is what we saw. I'm probably blocking it with my greatest screen. So, yeah, of course, the camera didn't pick up what our eyes were catching very eloquently, the different bands of color in the sky as the sun receded into the distance.
I'm not seeing. Oh, no. I guess what is going on?
Are you seeing it?
That's cool.
Sorry. There.
Yeah,
Now we're
that's
seeing
wild looking.
Yeah, and I see this. I guess maybe it's here. We're so flat here in South Louisiana. I mean, we're just the silt at the end of the Mississippi River. So
I miss
flat.
that sunset so bad, Walt.
And dude, there's nothing like these here. And so I've seen this a few times, and going in my head, okay, so what's going on here? And then, so we start talking about those gases that are in those tubes, and it's like you think about that young girl who discovered the plasma tubes going across the earth. The sky, and you think about gases that would either repel or attract each other, maybe kind of grouping up along magnetic lines. And I was saying, well, these lines we're seeing really aren't converging there in the distance. I mean, they may be, but it's the vision doing it, not, those lines are most likely parallel with the magnetic lines of the Earth. The gases coalesced as the sun recedes away. Different frequencies are leaving the area, and so some are still able to coalesce that are closer to it. Some aren't able to fluoresce that are farther away from it. Just trying to work it out, how this happens as the sun recedes away, and then watching you get closer and further away, how it gets brighter and dimmer, and some do it quicker and some do it sooner. Yeah, that would be an idea anyway.
I think some of it has to do more with the way the different lights travel. Like,
Hey, there you go. The
red
frequency of
light
travel.
travels the
Yeah.
furthest,
Yeah.
or we can see it the furthest. So I think that's why we see more red at sunset. Just throwing that out there. That's not. I don't think that's backed by any, science or anything like that. But yeah, it would make sense that if the red light travels the farthest, that's the last color you're going to see coming from that object. I don't know. Yeah, the sky it's so crazy.
Zombie Snoop there in chat saying he sees those kinds of strips in the sky all the time as well, and he's very flat where he lives apparently too. So,
Well, I was looking at that and I was like, man, what's causing those shadows in the sky? Like, is it 3 mountains or is there 3 trees in a certain spot? And at that time of year, those 3 trees cast huge
right?
shadows across the sky. Right.
Well, that's
when
what I
the
was
sun is
saying
setting.
about not seeing it. Like our eyes are seeing that was actually happening all the way across the sky, but I guess the filter of the camera trying to adjust to that bright light, etc., it lost about half of the rays that were actually there. I mean, it was literally from one side of the horizon line all the way up into the sky. It got really bright in the sun area, and then all the way down to that. It was like a clock in the sky, basically. I was seeing half of with those lines, and that's what I was trying to see and catch with the camera, but it never looked like that. I took about 4 different shots with different aperture and shit like that, trying to make it see what I was seeing, and it just never would show all of them. Some of them you could see, obviously, but most of them didn't show up on the video or the picture. It just didn't show them all. They were all the way across the sky. That's why I kept thinking about the magnetic lines, maybe. And it felt natural. It didn't feel like something, oh, look, chemtrails. There you go. It didn't feel like chemtrails. It felt like a natural thing I'm seeing happen because of a natural phenomenon. Either those gases gather up, those magnetic lines gather those gases. Maybe when the sun's not near those gases and they're fully excited into daylight, they kind of go back into their little group of like, okay, guys, let's chill out. Sun's gone. We can relax over here in our little group and wait for the day to come back around again. I don't know. I don't know enough about those gases. Chemistry was not my thing. I was biology guy.
Hey, can we throw the phone number out there? And
which one are we actually?
Boy, can we?
Which one are we using?
We're gonna do the flatline.
304-503-3528. 304-503-3528. Call now. 304-503-FLAT is the number for you to call.
Have to talk about, how much fun you had at Flattoberfest. But if you did go to Flattoberfest and been to one and you'd like to call in to let people know what they might be in store for.
What? I'm seeing stuff on the camera.
Yeah, I still remember the very first one at the Firmament.
That's right.
That
was
Firmament shirt.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was in 2019, and there's probably about 200 people there. So it was a smaller conference than the other ones that I've had, but still pretty good. Second largest for that year after the FEIC.
Yeah, that was the first one I went to, the only one I went to where I wasn't presenting or working a door or something like that. It was weird. Just hanging out.
And that was only one day too. We only had it for one night.
Yeah. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Too bad
fun.
he lost that place, the Firmament.
Yeah,
I know
And
when
Rob
two
Skibo
thousand
was there.
Yeah, you gave him 3 hours and he still couldn't fit his presentation in.
Yeah, he was up there for a long time.
Yeah, he's like, finally, I get enough time to actually do my whole presentation, and he still couldn't squeeze it all in.
Yeah.
That guy had such a presentation.
We just hit the 1 year mark, didn't we? I think. I thought I saw something going on his channel. They were doing a live stream. His widow and his son. I think we're just doing like a Rob Skiba live stream.
I think I saw that. Yeah,
I did post it on our Facebook, believe it or not.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was fun. Mark Sargent, Bob.
Yeah, that was when Mark and I were supposed to be roommates over at your house, but I had to get up to do Ironworx. So I wasn't, that was like 2 a.m. for Mark. Alarm would have been going off. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that to him. So I went and slept downstairs on the couch. Yeah, that was a fun one, though. That was a lot of fun. And
That
it's
was
not
when
just
where Mac
at the
was here.
event. Man, yeah.
Wasn't it Mac
Remember
here
all
for
the- Yeah, yeah.
2020?
What a crazy.
Not,
I mean,
no, 2019. Mac was not here, but Mac was here for 2020.
okay.
That's what it was. Sorry, I'm confusing my events.
Yeah, they start running together after you have so many of them.
I'm gonna need you to think before you speak, Karen. You just can't go around opening your mouth saying shit without thinking about it and verifying that what you're gonna say is true and correct.
I might talk a lot slower then.
Or not at all. Yeah, welcome to my world. Let's see, I do have the volume up.
So waiting for him to call in, I'm mesmerizing myself. I'm watching the differences between watching something live versus watching it on the Iron Realm feed versus watching it on the live feed, watching the three of them and how different the optics are.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But when we were talking about why we're doing this, putting in daylight and going to shade and, and the light going out and how you could have the bands of it, one of the things that like we forget to add in is anytime like you have a light source or that you have to add angles into it. We know the sun is a polarized light source, so it would polarize it.
Absolutely. I didn't even think about that when I saw you playing with your sheets. I'm like,
gotta take into account for the angles and the demons.
The angles and the demons, and other places, and they're going to polarize light, including like what they would, again, your magnetic dome, depending on where you are on it. That, but as you rotate fields and getting further away from again where your sun would be, and get it further angles, it will lights out all on its own without any, and it will also do your twilights. Again, if you're rotating slowly, you go from daylight as your colors not come in, but just a rotating polarized field that we know is already there. And we know that the sun is a polarized light source, can kind of help you go from day to night and give you cutoffs naturally in time. Again, it's all a matter of viewing angle.
Oh, shit, Cammy. Are you saying the firmament's polarized? What if the firmament?
Your firmament would be polarized because your firmament is going to be your magnetic dome, so that's going to be a polarized. And when you know how on the lunar eclipse where you need the third, where your moon gets in the light in the middle again, your other polarized sources, remember that's where they're going to cross over the North Pole column, what we would call that column in the middle that comes up the center, your toroid. I can guarantee you that is going to polarize light. So if you have things, diametrically opposed on either side of that, and that's running down the middle, that would be adding your third filter in during the middle of an eclipse from your angle. So if you wanted to add a third
big shout
angle.
out, Dad. I love you, brother. Thank you.
Are you following me, Karen?
Yes.
Okay. So here's your eclipse and doing it, and I'm just adding, again, I wish somebody was back there. Maybe Zach should be there. I'm just adding in your third filter in the middle where it gets light again, going
Mhm.
between 2 and 3 filters. But as it crosses the pole and lightens up and goes red, I believe that being across from the pole, that would be another source. But yeah, your daylights, your evenings, and everything on angles, as soon as you start adding in what we call Faraday effect, and something they have everybody too scared to look at because they make it in numbers, all it is polarized fields at different angles to each other. And we know things do polarize light, just meaning they make it go in one direction. And as soon as you put that into effect in reality, daylight, evening, twilight, and back to day starts happening as the sun rotates all by itself, just by getting a certain angle away from it. But yeah, we should have a call in. And we'll be demonstrating this live. Everybody can play with it. We can put suns in that underneath it. We can even recreate a lunar wave.
That's so awesome. You're the bomb. What was I going to say?
What were you going to say?
I don't remember. Let me think. We were talking about the firmament being polarized and then something else. I can't remember. Oh, the thing in the center. You were talking about the hyperboloid polarizing light. That totally makes sense because when I don't know, you remember Steve Torrance and how he used to make all those 3D models in Cinema 4D. Well, first of all, when he made the moon a sphere at first, and it would distort when it ran around, and he put in an atmosphere, and then he changed the shape of the moon to be like a disc, like an ellipsoid disc, right? And then it would look correct. It would not distort. It worked better that way. And the other thing he did is he had to add an object right directly above the North Pole to work out the eclipses. And once he did that, once he put that object in the center directly over the north, then when his model did the eclipses.
Right. This is using the magnetic of the center of the toroid for that center polarizing angle on it automatically. The other ones that he had to add, as far as making the moon round, I believe that what we're seeing is a personal angularized version of it. I think the moon is a layer up, and so it works best actually keeping the circular because you're not dealing with those optical dynamics you are of looking at it straight and not as a hologram. Do you understand that if you're seeing the moon and the moon is actually in the mirroscope, but you're just seeing the hologram of it, the round is working better just because the rounds create the phases all by themselves. It wouldn't have to be perfectly round. It could be like even the bottom of it, a shallow disc. I mean, I've never seen the other side, but having that convexity to it, that reverse parabolic angle to it, lets the phases create themselves 100% naturally. And so, just by height in it. And so having that function there, when you make it flat, you take out a natural function that's already there. So yeah, when we're talking about like lunar wave or the way.
What was the name of that stone I was telling you about yesterday, Cammie?
Oh, that was cool too. What was the name of it? It was
I mentioned it on the show earlier.
Tageister. I'm throwing out things. I don't have it, but it was a stone that they found it faceted. It's only been identified cut and faceted because it turned out that it was supposed to be, well, they thought it was spinel, they thought it was singly refractive, and it turned out to be doubly refractive then. I'm helping you reach, Zach. This is your story. Boy, it looks so different on the screen than on my screen. You guys have to see this in person. It's just a whole different ball game.
This is why you come to Flattoberfest.
This is why you come to Flattoberfest and the things, because I'm seeing each one of these filters have got other layers of polarization to them. So it's adding all of these weird textures that aren't there. It's crazy. In reality, it gets really clear. What is that stone? It's something iced. It was something iced. just a two-syllable but yeah, it was really remarkable that they've never found it out in nature. They've only they thought it was a different stone that didn't have the correct properties for the stone, and so when they put it into the lab, it was something never ever recognized before, and they named it. But it's how much did you say that they have of it in?
I found it. There's only like 5 stones that were left of it. Well, that they found
You went garbled again. Say that again.
to fight.
Hey?
Taphite.
Tapite. That was it. Tapite.
Taphite, right, because I liked mine pulled.
And salted.
And salted. Straight from the ocean.
Taffeite. I think they found the first one in Ireland, I think they said, at an antique jewelry store. And then there's been some found in India as well. But they've all been cut and polished, and nobody knows where the actual mineral came from out of the ground.
Sunstone. What else could it be?
Yeah, it's
Broke
one
up
of
all the
the
sunstones for navigation, so people couldn't do it anymore, and they made these jewels out of them, so you'd have a secret ring to navigate by. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Like a secret decoder ring.
Exactly. You used to eat Ovaltine.
Something that is coming up a lot. By the way, what people are looking at on screen, we do jump all over the place. What you're looking at is something naturally present in over half of minerals out there. Like 83.7%. I think I did the math of minerals out there. It's a property called anisotropic, and as if you take a thin enough specimen of it that's transparent and run it between Polaroid filters, you'll see all of these neon colors. Just you're shifting the light in the way you're looking at it, much like redshift or anything else when you do a prism. But the way it picks up light and shifting it, property of the stones. This is mica. Also happens with all kinds of things that we make, especially anything with the word cellophane in it, like cellophane tape or even saran wrap, and that all of these are going to have this property, and kids love it. Take the filters. These are sunglasses, by the way, like Polaroid sunglasses, and you can bring all the colors out.
I remember that last year you were showing to that one curly-haired lady who was at your booth like all day, and she was crying when you were showing her all the stuff. That was just so amazing to watch her, because when she walked up to the table, she was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of." She thought flat Earth she was brought, by someone. And when she was done talking to Cammie, she just broke down and crying, and yeah, it was beautiful. It was.
That's amazing.
A lot of a lot of people that have not concentrated too much on learning the numbers and everything, because again, this is anisotropic. You can drop it down in math, you can talk about it, but nothing. It's an optical effect, just like what you saw with Faraday. It's the fields crossing. You can write it down in math and confuddle everybody with it and make it that even school teachers don't want to look at it because it's got that yucky feel of math to it that we all avoided, or other than the total math geeks. And what's funny is I was a math geek, but I know how my friends felt. But they cast a spell over it, so you don't look at something, and when you look at it, it's like you have to memorize it, but don't really try to understand it, and you forget all of these things none of them were anything more than optical effects that we've noticed in nature. And instead of showing us what we're seeing in nature and how beautiful they are, they've turned us away from it by turning them into equations that have nothing to do. Again, the numbers maybe say how much when I change the filter and rotate it, how much color it changes. And I can write out that if I have it at this angle, you might see brighter in this color flash compared to another angle, but each piece will be unique. Again, they made it so complicated and so ugly when
yes,
in nature it's beautiful.
This is what Common Core math does. It makes it impossible for them to understand stuff like this, or stuff like vortex math or anything that has to do with the golden ratio, anything that has to do with nature, anything that actually means anything. I was telling this story the other day. I forget where, but I was talking about my daughter because she was in public school, and then I started homeschooling them, and they do the Common Core math in public school. And so when she changed to homeschool, and I'd give her these math books, I got regular math books. I was like, okay, I want math that teaches math the way that I learned it, right? Not this Common Core crap. And so I gave her the books, and she starts going through it, and she kept trying to make it more difficult than it actually was. And this is exactly the purpose of Common Core math. They add steps. They make it so complicated. They make them quantify everything. Like, she wanted to draw a circle for like everything. Like, she was taught you have to draw this many circles and then average it out and blah, blah, blah. And the fucking bullshit that they put these children through to do these simple math problems. And she was freaking out. And I was like, why are you drawing circles? She's like, this is the way I learned it in school, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, screw these stupid circles. Screw them. I was like, look at me. You will never have to draw a circle ever again. And she's
Ever.
like, okay. Like, literally took a deep breath and let it out. She was like,
Yeah, that would have drove me insane.
I was like, forget this crap. Forget it. This is not how you do math. This is a mess. I mean, and they literally, this is the dumbing down of America.
Yeah.
They add these stupid steps. They add complications to things that are incredibly simple. And they make everybody think that everything is 10 times harder than it actually is. And people give up before they even begin. And
Well,
thus you have
Karen,
your
that
gullible
one
sheep.
child couldn't learn the multiplication tables, and we can't leave them behind. So no children get to learn their multiplication tables
Ugh.
anymore. It's ridiculous.
A fucking disaster.
It is, and she's not. You need to, if you went to school in the 70s or even early 80s, and you see what they're teaching now. She's not kidding. I thought that they were adding extra steps in the late 70s and 80s, and like I was with the why don't we do it in this many steps, or why, and well, they say to do it there, but now it's gotten absurd. They really do. They will add in 5 or 6 different steps to get to something that only took 1 to 2 steps to normally do, and you disconnect what you're doing in the process. Everything is all about memorizing formulas and taking all the joy out, and even what you're knowing out of it.
That's what it is. And you can remember it for about an hour and a half of that test, and then it's gone. And if you don't learn the basic how to get to that point, if you don't know phonics, if you don't know basic math without all the bullshit, I couldn't believe the stuff my son was coming home with. I didn't have time to homeschool him. I was working, my wife was working. But we did everything we could in his homework time that we spent hours with him to undo the damage they were doing and to teach him phonics and teach him how to actually do fucking math.
Right?
It was so unbelievable.
All that crap is by design. It's by design.
And it's working.
I
had a story I put in. We didn't talk about it yet, and we don't have to get deep, but basically it was a story talking to a bunch of different managers at level, like, CEO management and down to manager levels, talking about the current millennial workforce and how it is basically like dealing with people from another country who don't know the customs, the language, or basic fucking social skills. They totally think everything they know is right. They're entitled to be their way. You're an old wrong person who knows nothing. It's like trying to teach a person from the ground up. Everybody they're trying to interview. A store just closed down here in town, got bought by a new group. They couldn't find people to work there that they would accept as hires. So it's ridiculous. It has really gotten ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's the dumbing down of America. They're telling everybody the simplest shit is incredibly hard, and everybody's like, fuck it. And do it. I mean, and why wouldn't you give up? It makes zero freaking sense. Zero. I mean, look at these old videos that you'll see of like children talking from like movies from like the 20s and 30s, and they're like, yes, ma'am, blah, blah, blah. And they're very well spoken, and they can speak coherent English, and they sound like adults. They sound like adults.
Yeah.
I mean, that just goes to show you. They used to try to teach people things like if they had kept on that trajectory instead of dumbing everybody down, when they realized they had control, they could control the education system and train people to be exactly what they wanted them to be. They were teaching children these things, and children were growing up highly intelligent. They could speak coherently. They could do things independently probably by the age they were 12. I mean, but now, forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah, even in the 90s, when I was just finishing up school, the late 90s, I had high school teachers that were telling me I had to show my work in math, simple math. You know, your multiplication tables. I don't know why I'm having so much issue saying that word tonight. But so I made it a point. I started writing where I would write each number would take up 2 lines, and I would hand her like 4 sheets of paper when I was all said and done. Like, if you're going to make me write it all out, I'm going to make it real big, and I'm going to make it annoying for you because this is dumb. But yeah, they've been doing this for a while now, and it's by design.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people in chat, have they gone back to teaching cursive yet?
Nope.
Apparently not. No, I just saw that
No.
in chat. That they're
Gone.
not.
It's probably going to be where everybody's going to have a typing class instead of cursive. And they're going to want everybody to learn how to type on a QWERTY board.
Right. They'll want them to know how to do WTF and IRL and all. They're not
Oh,
going to
well,
teach
the
them how to do
program will
any
have,
fucking real thing.
it'll have programmable 3-letter acronyms you can program.
Right. They'll be on one key. Right. IRL, one key. Yeah. LOL, one key. Right. You're right. What was I
You
thinking?
can program your bot buddy to just send an auto response. So,
right.
They'll have your F buttons, and then they'll have your emojis above that.
Yeah. That's why when I got the books and stuff for my children, I made like you can get online versions of everything, and I didn't do that. I'm like, no, I'm going to get books, and they have to write in the books. They're going to write. They're going to write their sentences. They're going to write the words. They're going to write the numbers, so that they at least are literate. You know, and I already know based on my own human experience in this realm that my children are fully literate adults as they are right now.
Yeah.
They're more literate than
I've seen adults in the working world that are not as smart as them. They don't write as well as them. I've seen it. I've seen people that are barely literate. You know, barely. And I already know that my children are more literate than most of the people. They're literate enough. You know, and then they're still in schooling, so I know they'll get better. So I know they'll be okay. But man, you know what really what worries me is what are they going to deal with when they go out into the real world as adults? Like, seriously, what's that world going to be like? Do you know the divide that's been building?
Yeah, dude, it'll be just like these
it's
these
insane.
managers. It'll be like them trying to communicate with people from another world, not just another country, but from another realm.
They're going to be like the guy in Idiocracy getting out of the pod. That's kind of what it'll be like. They're going to go walk out and meet people their own age, and they will be retarded compared to your children.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that you're putting pens in their hand or, you know, pen and paper and making them write or that, even again in well-to-do families, the schools that even kindergarten now are providing iPads and different, you know, laptops and that take home. The kids don't write anything anymore because it's easier for the teachers to grade and not have it all typed out. But yeah, writing it all, even printing is getting to be a lost skill. It's and as far as typing classes, now the kids these days are born typing. Before they get to school, they pretty much all know how to type.
Wow. Yeah, it's a shame. I even bought like one of those wall-mounted pen. I'm sorry, but I bought one of those wall-mounted pencil sharpeners. Even like the winder.
Right,
So cool.
I had one in my closet
we were
for my
over
kid
there
growing up. You gotta have that. That's part of school. Yeah, I have
I bought shit tons of pencils. and I bought a big box of erasers. Like it's old school time. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
the only
I
thing I
was.
don't have is those stupid desks.
Oh, that would be fun to get those little desks that do it. But I was at your house when the pencil sharpener showed up, and it was fun. The kids were excited to sharpen the pencils and that. I mean, they're fun. The old school, and you need the chalkboard and the erasers to clap and that. But
I
that
don't know
would
if
be
I
fun.
want that dust in my house, but yeah. But it's fun because then they'll be like, I can't sharpen my pencil. And I'm like, have you emptied it lately? And then they go to like empty the pencil sharpener. It's like stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Whoa,
almost starts
what's all
smoking.
this?
And it totally brings back memories of me being in like 4th or 5th grade and this pencil sharpener being completely stuffed and having to empty it out. It's just like
That's good fire starter. You should save some of that stuff for
I
fire.
did. I had a bucket. We were dumping it all in the bucket.
Nice. Yeah, that's good fire starter right there.
I love that about being here. That we burn our cardboard, and that's something in the city you can't do. Is you just don't start those cardboard bonfires in your backyard when your backyards are city size. And so I love that again we have the much smaller trash can and all of the cardboard and pizza boxes or whatever they are. I like that part. I like the burning of the trash.
Yeah.
Me too.
We actually had a warning this morning I saw during the Ironworx. I guess because we've been without rain and especially windy. We had a fire hazard apparently right here through most of Missouri.
Wow,
And
that doesn't happen often, does it?
I don't think so. I don't remember having seen like a
Red
National
flag
Weather
warning.
Service, fire hazard for the Ozarks.
Yeah, that happened like once the 40 years I was up in Indiana. One summer, it didn't rain for like a month straight. And all the grass was brown everywhere. And they were saying, okay, people, no fires, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but just one time. That's weird. We're in a moderate drought here right now, they say.
Yeah. I haven't had anybody. I don't remember there being no burn things here like ever.
It was a way of life in Colorado and up the mountains in Colorado. The red flag warnings and the wildfire dangers was always posted. Everywhere on the passes, anywhere it's posted that there's like low, medium, high, very high, extreme. That you're always watching the fire danger. So yeah, that was the norm in Colorado, not the oddity, but it is
not
the
nearly
oddity
as
here.
much water out there. So yeah, it's really
Right.
dry out there. That's one thing it blew my mind going out driving to Colorado and not touching a mountain all the way to Denver. I was like, what? I mean, I could see the mountains. You can see the mountains from like Nebraska. But yeah, not until you like go through Denver and past Denver do you start going up into the mountains. Denver is like a dry prairie full of prairie dogs and tall yellow grass.
Called the Front Range.
Yeah, it's
like half and half, isn't it? It's like half plains, half mountain.
Well, you get into the foothills a little bit, and the Valley Highway runs, between where higher and lower. But it's the Front Range. The city itself is on the range. It's not up in the mountains, where you do have some suburbs going up in the mountains a little bit. But yeah, it's funny with people coming into Denver. A lot of people around the world assume that Denver is in the mountains, and it's not.
well.
We do.
Tell them about the people that assume you guys still used horses and buggies.
Yeah. You have people that still assume from the westerns that they come in, and not only do they assume we're in the mountains, but they think that we're still in westerns and that there's going to be, like saloons, and it's like
Seriously?
Yeah, from other countries you'll get that. The people watching the westerns and thinking that's what the Wild West. Oh, you're from the Wild West, and they come into Denver, and it's like
That's hilarious.
There's a shock to their system. Would be the same thing, like so many people here don't realize that, there's huge cities in Africa that are metropolises, highways and freeways and big, tall buildings and, people wearing suits and dresses and, it looks like here. But everything we're shown from Africa is naked people walking around with loincloths, fiddling with sticks. So we think that's what all of Africa looks like, but it's not like that. They have a lot of the same stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny, I'm sure
Well,
when people went to Japan, they thought they were going to see samurai walking around,
mm,
I
I remember like when I was really young, my mom telling me about how they would find like old Japanese soldiers on these random islands, and they would be like, "Is the war over?" I was like, "Whoa!" And now I'm like, "Is that true?"
I think if that was the accent your mom gave for a Japanese soldier, I would definitely question whether or not that was true.
Well, she never gave an accent. That was just me. She would
Oh.
just be like, "Yeah, they find these old Japanese people and they don't even know the war's over. Can you believe it?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." I just remember hearing a bunch of crazy stuff.
I've heard that too.
Mom used to read a bunch of crazy stuff. Like she used to read Discovery. Like remember, we have Discovery Channel and Science Channel. Well, before they were channels, they were magazines, and my mom used to subscribe to those magazines, like Omni magazine,
National
Discovery
Geographic.
magazine.
I
Yeah.
love National Geographics.
Don't be gross.
Well, National Geographic is good, but my mom liked all those like weird spacey. Like she loved Carl Sagan. She was all into space. And so that's kind of like where I got into space because my mom, it was just funny. Like now I think about some of the stuff I read and I would read her science magazines because they were just laying around. And I was a little kid. And it's so funny because there's one article that I specifically remember reading, and it was called Buckyballs. And it was about the Buckyballs, like Buckminster Fuller discovered like these perfectly formed carbon molecules or whatever, and it was like 60 carbon molecules, and it made like a little perfectly formed like spherical molecule or whatever, supposedly.
The buckyball.
Yeah, they still talk about it today, but I remember reading
Dyson's sphere, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember reading about the buckyball like when it first came out, when it was the first like the newest thing in this magazine. And it kind of made me all into that geeky shit, because my mom had it all around the house.
No, I had on my YouTube feed, on an auto feed, where I was doing some stuff in the background, kicking, and sometimes it'll go and play videos, and sometimes it recommends its own. The little feel-good stories. So I usually don't mind when the little feel-good stories come in there, but this story came in, and I look up in the channel, is True Facts, Real Stories. And it talked about this woman that, first off, my spidey senses were on alert when the person like adopted 2 children, and it seemed like she was meeting them the same day that she adopted them, and it went through, right away. Because the first night that she slept with them, all was good, but they had a hard time talking because they only spoke in different languages. And when she went to check on them, they weren't in their room, and she panicked, and they were outside staring at the stars. And so the next day she went and talked to the people at the adoption agency that were worried this might come up. It was top secret. But their mother had died, and their dad is in the secret space mission on the Mars mission, that he's going to be gone for 3 years.
No. I went back in and they said he was
What
going
was it?
on the ISS for 3 years.
Oh, on the ISS for 3 years,
To
preparing
get
for
ready for the Mars mission. Yeah.
Okay, I am getting the facts right because I skimmed through. It's like, no, Zach checked it out. Go ahead. I mean, it was crazy. Real facts, true stories, and it pops up into the auto feed, and it's all about how wonderful and warm, and how they can now. Dad recorded a message from the Space Center and played it back to them that he's always thinking about them when he's doing that. And now when they look at the stars, they know he's looking back, and he'll be back after 3 years, but wanted them to love Hannah like she's her own mother and know that Daddy's watching you from the stars. Was that about?
Yeah. For one, nobody has ever spent 3 years on the space station.
No, isn't the longest 666 days?
Yeah. And that's added up. That's That's multiple trips to the space. That's all her days added up. That wasn't one full go. She's just the astronaut with the most days on the ISS. Yeah. So even the person with the most days hasn't even done 2 years yet. And nobody goes for more than 6 months at a time because of it messes with their blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. You know what it is. It's all nonsense. But yeah, the story was just BS. I mean, they did no research. Zero. AI could have wrote a better story.
I probably did write this story. It was horrible. And again, in the auto feed and just all in the touches. Oh, looking at the sky and all of the ISS pictures and daddy up there. And it's crap. It's total crap. I'm just saying it's crap.
It is. Well, you're not wrong.
You
And I'm
want to feel
sorry,
good.
if
You want
there
something feel
is,
good.
you don't get to be an astronaut then. If you're an only parent, then guess what? You don't get to be an astronaut. There's 500 other people waiting in line with applications and whatnot. They're not going to send a single parent and then send his children off to be adopted by
That
someone he
same
doesn't
day.
know.
Right.
That's
Or
just a
old
stupid
people.
story.
As a
Especially people that don't
top
speak the
secret.
same language. Come on.
And it's top secret. It was like all hidden. We didn't want to have to tell
Yeah,
you this.
top secret, but we tell the adoption lady.
Who can
Yeah.
touch you warmly on the shoulder while explaining it to you that we were hoping not to have to tell you this because it's top secret. Because that's how top secret works. Oh well, if your kids looked at the stars, we'll breach protocol for that. We're worried about that. We were worried they'd sneak out in the middle of the night and go and look at the stars.
Just a stupid story. Stupid
Stupid story that's supposed to, you want a feel good story, you want to feel good, and they put stupid shit on that's like, it's like, why? Are they like testing the stupidity on? And people were defending it because people went in the comments, total BS. Oh, why would you say that? How do you know it's not real? Somebody took time to defend it. It's so
Yeah, I
beautiful.
responded to her too.
I know, I
did.
saw that.
I told her, no, this is BS. The longest person ever was less than 2 years, and it wasn't even all at the same time. Nobody's been up there for 3 years or even goes for 3 years. Stupid.
That's way too long to be in confinement.
Yeah,
Away
that'd
from
be
your
torture.
away
just
from your
won't do it.
children after you just lost your wife and have apparently no other family members in the whole world to help with the family, that you have to just give away your kids to another country that don't speak the same language.
Yeah, that's a mentally stable person I want up in the space station with me.
Oh yeah.
You know? God. People are gullible, though.
Oh yeah.
I probably would have believed it, 7, 8 years ago without even looking and doing research to see who's been up there the longest or blah, blah. I wouldn't even have looked at any of it. Like, oh, wow. This is a cool story. I heard somebody say cool story, bro, today. And it made me think of David. Did you guys see David launched the
Yes, I was about to go there.
The new friend finder messaging system. There's video calls, and it's not just one person. You can build groups of people. Then there's like the whole messaging thing is, it all works a lot better than his old system. Totally different, all brand new, different program. And it's like Skype. If you see a message you like, you can click on it and like it, love it, thumb it up, frowny face, laugh emoji. It's awesome. It really is.
It was like doing a complete hangout, like Google or a YouTube old-fashioned hangout, like they had a whole bunch of people in on it and saw everybody, and really no different than what we're doing really on the app, which was quite amazing.
Mm-hmm. Real quick though, I am an Android user, one of Dave's favorites. So that gave me a couple of issues because of two things. Number one, I hadn't had the app updated apparently for 2 updates or something. I don't know. It took me a minute to get everything right. So I basically had to reinstall, install, do all the tricks you do. So I did it and got it going. And immediately my Android system, which is AT&T, pushed an update. So I verified first, make sure David wasn't, trying to get my credit cards. No, I went and always checked updates before I put them on my phone. So I went and checked, and they did push one this last month. So yeah, if you haven't done your Android update overall for your OS on your phone system, it will have some conflicts. When you get that done, it works flawlessly. Either that or Dave's got my credit cards.
Yeah, but it is working well. He's been
it's working great, and that dude has been without sleep, and he was even working with me when I was having those few issues when I got up from my nap a minute ago or an hour or a few ago. So yeah, he helped me get it right, and it's working fine. I even see a few new people in the circle there over in the New Iberia.
Yeah, I had someone message today. They sent out a thing. Hey, any flat earthers in the area? I'm new to the app. I was like, yeah, man, are you going to be at Flattoberfest? He was like, I haven't been into flat earth since 2020, but I saw this and figured I'd just jump on. I'm going to tell him to come Friday and just hang out.
Cool deal. Well, I see you Whit 200 over there. And,
yes, tell him just to come for the free meetup on Friday for sure.
Yeah.
You know what? We should let the people know at the farmers market or the Beelus at the market there that are flat earthers that are never online. I always forget to do that, but we should leave some stuff there. And David, fun stuff is showing up at the house. He's got little cards and different giveaways and things like that too. That's showing up at the house, all with flat earth stickers and decorated boxes that are always fun. So your postman knows that you're a flat earther, which I like. Add spice and interest to Spartanburg. There's a lot of us here now.
Yes.
Ian in chat is saying he tried to jump on. It says chat won't open. Says come try later. I had the same thing happen to Ian. I tried it again like 20, 30 seconds later, and I got right in. It's might have trouble connecting with your operating system that first time. Something might glitch a little bit. But I know the second time for sure when I tried it, I got right in. So try it again. If not, send Dave an email, and he will definitely get right back to you.
I was going to say,
real good about.
I'm having the same trouble as Ian since I updated this afternoon. I've tried maybe a half dozen times, and it's never let me in. Yeah, it keeps telling me we're trying to log into chat. Please go out of the friend finder and try again after some time.
Maybe delete it and try to reinstall it. I don't know if that'll help or not, but
that's usually how I update. I just delete the whole damn thing, go right back to the Play Store, and reinstall it instead of updating it.
Well, now that you say that, I'm actually getting a red issue on mine now that I'm trying to do that.
This
I'd only got it working. We'll get it right, Dave, with you both. Just hit us up after this shit.
Yeah, maybe a reboot will help. I'll try that too. Yeah. Go ahead, Kimmy.
On computers, we call it Bill's Way when things like this all go wrong, when everything's working perfectly and they give you an update that screws it all up. And we call it Bill's Way, and it keeps the techs in business. And
I'm in the chats right now.
Ooh, interesting dreams. That too, Liz.
Wow, neat. And people who send you a message or you have sent a message, I'm actually getting even names I haven't seen before. Wow. In the search users, you can search by different users and whatnot. Yeah, mine seems to be working properly.
Let me go back and try again.
But I know that happened the very first time I tried to go into it.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Now, did you go in through the Friend Finder app, or did you go in through the messaging on homepage?
I went in through the Friend Finder app.
Now that you say that, let me double check. I'm going to go through the Friend Finder app. Yeah,
I
we're
think
trying
I
to
went through on
log.
the home page.
We're trying to log into chat. Please log out and try again later. That's what I'm getting. Try again after
Yeah.
some time. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay, try to go to the home page first. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry,
did. It was
everybody.
giving me a red message saying no error. So I've got an issue. We'll deal with it. We don't have to do this on the air, guys.
Okay.
I mean, we can get it right with Dave. Unless you want to do this, we can. That's fine. I don't want to get it going. I don't want to derail it. I'm just saying there's a lot to
I
be
was
worked
just
on.
saying, if you go to the home page and hit the messaging on the upper
That's
left-hand
where I
corner
started.
part.
When
Oh,
I
it
do
still
that, I
doesn't
get a
let you get
red
in?
bar saying something went wrong. Please try again. And that wasn't happening earlier. So something has definitely, because I had a whole thing where it, like my whole phone went like off and the OS didn't come back up and it gave me a bug message and all kind of crazy stuff that I sent to Dave. So I had more than just what we're dealing with here. So I could have more going on. It's fine. We'll get with it. For sure.
Well, I just went to check on my
Shut-
phone and see if it was working, and oh, my phone has no battery whatsoever. Probably
See,
has
there you
been
go.
dead
It
for
could
a
be all
couple
of
of
that.
days. I don't know. Yeah.
And he did say it had a lot of like some things with speed of your internet, et cetera. And you know, that could be some of the guys here could be having that problem if your internet speed isn't on a Friday night. Even if you have good internet, it's going to be like, yeah, you're going to have traffic bogging it down. It can cause things. I mean, we're bogging it down just right now with the show itself at my house, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, it affects it. Different things can, especially bandwidth and traffic. So what was I going to say about you? Oh, earlier we saw Rob, old school, founding member, IRM, and then the Adam Meakin popped in. Good to see you, brother. Miss you. Love you. Come hang out. Come chat. Maybe John.
Here's
Don,
Adam.
John.
I met Adam in Amsterdam.
Oh, that's true. You did go over there, didn't you, lucky lady?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely miss Adam. But yeah,
Great time.
love you guys.
Yeah, I've been thinking
Our
about.
buddy Daz there in chat is going through a little experiment. I just want to give you a big shout out. Love you, brother. Trying to change yourself and change the world. So he has quit nicotine, THC, coffee, meat, his last job, and even painting.
All at
And
once?
Daz is a painter. So yeah, this is pretty incredible, dude. Sending you lots of support. And like you, I've done one or two of those things at a time. Never all those at once. I would implode. Literally.
I mean, I
So that's
have,
What
but
are you doing? That's what I want to know.
sounds like he's turning himself into the law. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like he's taking a quick trip to spend a few months in a shock therapy in his county jail. That's what it sounds like to me. But that's also probably
he's got things going on. He says here he's quit all those things before for short periods, but never all at once. In order to have some data he can trust, he has to use himself as a guinea pig. So there you go. There you go. Good luck. Good luck, man. Damn sure.
I'm just giving you a triple daz. I didn't really think he was going to jail. That's just how I would have to do it.
that would take it, right?
That's
apparently I pushed him down the rabbit hole. I didn't do that. I just threw seeds down that hole. If you chased them, brother, well, I'm sorry. Every day is an adventure. I don't even need to leave my own town to uncover a worldwide mystery, and I don't feel like the only mutant. Well, sir, I'm right there with three heads right alongside you. So, or at least that's how most people look at me when I start explaining my worldview. As though I had triple heads.
Lizo French there in chat says, I got rid of my freezer, fridge, and cooker. And I love dandelions. Life is fun.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
Probably the healthiest person in chat.
That's what I was about to say. My goodness. You were just eating like straight out of the ground.
Yeah, I've eaten many a dandelion, many a clover shake over at Just Jack's.
Really? That's interesting. I remember as a kid, like being told how sweet to chew on, et cetera, and I would chew on it and it would have a little sweetness.
Oh,
I was
yeah, we'd
always
take,
after the honeysuckle. That was my thing.
Frozen strawberries or raspberries, little bit of filtered rainwater, and a bunch of clover flowers. Man, it makes a really good shake. And then we were doing dandelion flowers. Ooh. It's amazing. It's amazing how much energy you get out of like, a nice sized cup of a shake of that, and you're like Energizer Bunny, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I picked all of our beets this year. I was going to pickle beets, and I keep on roasting them and eating them, and now I'm out of beets and nothing to pickle. I love the food out of the garden. It's so tasty and good.
Yeah, we're gonna do like 3 rows of beets next year.
Yeah, no doubt. The beets did good. Karen, I hear you were able to do melons at your house. Melons did not like it here, but
Yeah,
beets loved it.
I didn't try. I haven't even tried to grow beets, but yeah, we did melons, and watermelons here, and I had a bunch of watermelons.
I tried watermelons 2 years in a row, and I haven't gotten any edible watermelons or cantaloupes or muskmelons. They get big, but then I'll either split them and they're already gross. I don't know. They're not good, or they're just not good. Beets was a big crop for you guys. Pickled most, so good, Ian. Yeah, they loved growing here. We fought with all of that just to get, I think, 3 melons on the whole vine the whole year. So I don't know what I'm doing different than you, other than maybe being on the hill and they don't like it. The blackberries are doing good. The asparagus likes it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I like
the
garden.
wormwood. Good Lord, that's a beautiful plant. Big white silvery leaves,
Gorgeous.
and it's just huge. It's like ground covering. And then the lemon balm did really well, and the English sage did real well.
And then a few of our things didn't. A lot of it here is learning experience on what likes it here and what doesn't. And I think every yard is even different.
Yeah. My yard grows peppers, good, eggplant, tomatoes, melons. I've had good experience with. I have 2 artichokes that I've planted, and they grow and they have these big, beautiful leaves, but I never get an actual artichoke out of it. And
No,
I
I
don't know
thought
what's up with that. I don't know why.
I didn't think we were far enough south to grow artichokes.
No, I have these. They're called globe artichokes.
I
But
love artichokes. Yeah.
they're super. They're supposed to be super hardy and be very cold tolerant. And I have these. I've tried to grow a few of them, and they grow, and the leaves come out of the ground. It looks like a big, like silvery green, leafy, unusual leafy plant. Like they're cool looking, but no artichokes grow, and I don't know why. I don't know why.
We had that problem with our zucchini last year.
Oh,
Zucchini got
grows out of
huge.
control here.
It
Out
got
of
huge, but we had 0 zucchinis come off
Zucchini.
of it.
Oh my
Right.
god. Zucchinis here? Well, I have giant zucchini. The zucchinis are just off the charts here. For me.
Broccoli did good.
I haven't grown broccoli.
Cucumbers, or not cucumbers. Cucumbers did okay, and the pickles did okay. I'd say moderate.
Okra.
It's like the carrots. My carrots didn't get very big. It's like they stayed short and stubby, and it seemed like a lot. And they just didn't get anything impressive. They were pretty scrawny. Okra, but what do you do with it other than fry it?
Well, if you have smaller okra, you can pickle it.
You can bake it.
Yeah.
You can air fry it. There's lots of good stuff you can do with
Yeah,
it.
you chop it up and throw it into stews and stuff. Beef stew with okra is really good. There's a really good Middle Eastern dish that involves like beef or goat with tomato and okra stew. It's really good.
And your pumpkin did nothing as well. We didn't try pumpkins, but again, I'm not so sure about the melons. Just did not like. They're just not. We're getting leaves, but not. We're getting leaves, but not melons, not pumpkins or that. Karen, you were popping them out.
Logan Cook says he wants to try loofahs next year.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
Ted loves loofahs. He grows
Yeah,
loofahs.
Ted grows loofahs. I use one of Ted's loofahs every day when I shower. I
Yeah.
love that thing. It's amazing. The way you feel after you're done using it, it's like you have no dead skin on your body at all.
Yeah.
And if you use a good, type of soap, an all natural soap, you feel like a baby's butt when you're done.
Yeah, like a
Awesome.
nice handmade soap, like made from Joelle or
Yeah.
something, who's going to be at Flattoberfest with her stuff.
Now, I went my whole life thinking that like loofahs came from the ocean or whatever, were
Me
like
too,
sea
Cammy.
sponges.
Me
I
too.
never thought they were a plant that you. I completely blew my
Yep.
mind on it, and I don't know how I went
Mine
that long.
too when I found that out. I was old. I was an old dude
Me,
when I found that
it
out.
was
I'm
Ted
just
and
like you. I
Karen.
thought it was part of the ocean. Why did we think that? I wondered.
I
I
don't
guess it
know, but
resembles something
Because
else
the
from the
sponge
ocean.
is from the ocean, and they
Well,
use
maybe, but I
sponges.
don't think that was it. I think just the way they are
loofah and
made, the
the
way they
made it.
look, and they're
Uh
very
huh.
coralescent. And yeah, maybe that
Yeah.
was just a mental connection. Maybe.
Now,
I don't know.
pawpaws. Big Pine Sailing in the chat and people talking about pawpaw seeds. I've looked into pawpaws because there was always that song Way Down Yonder in a Pawpaw Patch. So I grew up wondering, you sing a nursery tale song. I don't know if anybody else is, where you'd say, where, oh, where is sweet little Zack way down yonder in a pawpaw patch? You know, what's he doing picking up pawpaws? I'm swearing you the singing on it, but the thing about it is you sing this and then you get to be adulthood and say, what the fuck is a pawpaw?
Yeah, I never knew. I learned
never
it
knew.
from the bare necessities of life.
I looked into it, and pawpaws they grow in the area that we're in here, and they taste a lot like a mango or papaya mix. They're sweet, they're delicious. The only problem is they have almost no shelf life. So once you pick them, you have to eat them. You don't have a couple days to transport them or sit on a grocery store before it goes bad. And so they've never gone further other than the local markets because of shelf life, but they're wonderful. You can grow them here. You can have a pawpaw patch, and they taste, if you pick them, I guess, like a cross between a mango and a papaya, and are delicious. No, pawpaw is the largest native fruit to North America. It's like a green potato-looking fruit with a mango banana taste. People are writing. I've heard mango banana, mango papaya. I've heard nothing but good things about them, other than the fact that you don't see them is they don't live again. They don't age well. Bananas take a long time to ripen. We've been having problems with our bananas ripening. One of the neat things about bananas and the different moon shine and sunshine, and my kitchen here facing the south is pure proof of this. Bananas, I don't know if you know, but they like to pick them at night. Bananas, as soon as they're off of the vine and they hit sunlight, it sends them into turbo ripening. It sets all of like the hormones or whatever bananas have, the chemicals, not doing the right verbiage on it, but giving you the right idea on it, is it kicks them into hyperdrive on ripening. So if you want to know why your bananas sometimes go really black quickly in the kitchen, you'll find that you've got them in a spot where they're getting hit with sunlight. And yeah, if you want them to ripen slowly, you keep them away from the sunlight.
That's exactly why you want that fucking tally man to hurry up and tally me banana. Because daylight's come and me won't go home.
Damn straight, that is right about the banana song. You got it. It all clicks together. The pieces, the dots all connect, but that you are spot on in that song, Josh.
I've sang that so many times and I've never paid attention to the words. Daylight come and me won't go home. Never crossed my mind that they were working all night.
They're working all night picking the bananas because you don't want them off the vine and then hitting the sunlight. And again, when you buy them and take them, keep the sunlight off of them always, because once you hit them in the sunlight, I don't even think it needs to be a constant on there. I mean, once you hit them in, I think in a good sunlight, I think you've got them going. A lot of the chemical reactions already in process. But my husband keeps on saying, why do our bananas keep on going black so quickly? And it's like, because I can't find a place in our kitchen that doesn't get direct sunlight, and I keep on closing the blinds, but we keep on, I don't blame people for opening them. It's like, we'll have to put them in the refrigerator or relocate the kitchen to the back of the house. Tough problems in life. Oh, I've bored us to death. I've stopped the show.
Nope, I was looking at Jolly Man's tips for keeping bananas to last a little bit longer by wrapping the tips of the bunch where they all bunch up together to keep them fresh longer.
That's a great. He's right. Where they pull it off of it, it goes under. One of my favorite tricks in the kitchen that a lot of people don't know about is guacamole, and some people pour lemon juice and different stuff in it to keep the guacamole from going brown. But the best trick to keep guacamole from going brown is you just put a couple of pits in the guacamole with it, and the seeds release a chemical that naturally keeps it from going brown and rotting.
What?
And then if you don't, no, seriously, I serve it with the pits in there even, and it just keeps it all green and never goes brown around it. But if you don't like to serve it that way, again, when you make it, just keep the pits in there, and it will totally take care of that 100% naturally, without lemon juice or without anything else, so you can have your good flavor. Never heard of that, huh? I mean, it's so easy and it works so well. And again, the little nature's ways that they teach out of us.
Interesting. I have to give that a try.
Anybody else have favorite like little hacks like that you think everybody knows about, but they don't?
So here's one that I recently found out. And only because my mind was blown, my wife's mind was blown, my son's mind was blown. It was just this kind of thing that I can't believe it took me 45 years to learn this. But anyway, I was using a mechanical can opener, right? Just one of your regular old hand can openers. You run over there, you click it on the can, and you turn the crank, goes around the can, takes it off. Well, I watched some dipshit on Facebook the other day take the can opener and turn it on its side, right? And he puts it on the top of the can. And now there's this weird little out jutting on the can opener that makes sense, that never really made sense before. It was just this weird piece. But now what it does is it shows you what level on top of the can is, right? So you're going to take your can opener, lay it flat on top of the can, and then close it. So now your
It's
handle's
amazing how much better it works when you do it that way.
on the very top. I could not believe it. I said, what the hell is this? How have I been using a motherfucking
I just
can opener
learned that
wrong?
like a year ago. Cammie taught me that.
I don't know how you guys ever used it without. How did you?
Oh,
not
jagged
know that?
edges.
How did you get it
We
to work?
fought
I cut
and
the shit out of my
fought and
fingers.
fought. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass opening any can.
Yeah, I assumed mine were faulty, and I'd go through a dozen can openers thinking there's something wrong with the can opener. It's obviously not my fault. It's not a user error.
Stupid made in China. How many times you say that?
Oh, I couldn't hardly believe it. What a dumbass I was.
Yeah, you turn that thing sideways, and the can, it looks so perfect when you're done.
Yeah.
Like the lid comes off in this weird way. To
Nice
where
round,
it was
smooth
supposed
edge.
To do it like that. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I know, I felt so dumb when Cammie showed me that.
Just made perfect sense once you use it, right? Oh, be damned. So, Billingtano, switch it to your left hand. Because really, when I put it on the top and I'm trying to close it on the top, the angle never catches it right. But if I just swing the can opener around and I try to do it with my left hand, then it seems to catch it. That's what that like little L-shape bracket on the side of the can opener is for. Hold it in your left hand so you can see that little L-shaped bracket, so you know when you're going to be holding it flush to the can. Once that L-shape hits that top of the can, that's going to be flush. And then you go ahead and squeeze it. Just squeeze it with your left hand. I still have the same mistake because I'm still not used to opening it the right way. I'm used to doing it. What the fuck? Larry Dorch is in the chat. What the hell kind of Friday is this? Rob, Adam, and now Larry. Some of you may know Larry. Some of you old timers might know Larry. Larry is a old friend of mine who actually lives just down the road. I'm surprised to see him on here tonight. He's not usually lurking in the chats. He's usually got better things to do on a Friday night. But big shout out and much love to good old Larry Dortch there in chat. El Deuce. I could probably scrounge up some freestyle raps I got saved around on my computer. Or if you want to search YouTube, just search maybe Josh Corey and then a backflip over thought. And you'll see Larry there making an attempt at a backflip. It's always pretty funny. I'm sure he'll appreciate me telling everybody to go watch that video. Hell, you know what? I could probably just play it up and play it for y'all because I know how much he loves watching that. So yeah, totally fucked me up. Can openers.
Is this gonna hurt watching it?
What kind of can opener?
What? Shut up. Sorry.
Just a regular old can opener, Karen. I felt so retarded.
I missed it because I kind of stepped away for a second. I came back in the middle of that conversation.
You know the can opener with the little wheel on it, and you crimp it down along the edge, and then you just turn the other side. It's got the little handle on it, and you just turn it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you do that flat, put it horizontal and not vertical, it opens the can like it's supposed to be opened.
They're holding it sideways, Karen. They're hoping that they're holding.
Oh,
and they, that weird. You know how you can hold it that you can get it to open if you hold it at the wrong angle, but it is all jagged and you have to fight and really turn hard and stuff because you're not holding it locked into place.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're all saying they use can openers. I don't know what.
That's hilarious.
It's a boys' show.
Dudes be wrenching.
And they're all in the chat saying, "Oh my God, I've been using it wrong too."
I turn wrenches, not can openers. Oh, I felt so dumb when Cammy showed me. I was like, "Oh my God, I've been doing this for like 40 years this way." Well, 30 years this way. Since I got big enough to do it, because that's how Mom taught me how to do it. That's how I watched Grandma do it that way. Oh my goodness. Family full of retards.
Wait, I'm the one with Polish roots here, so I don't know what to tell you because I grew up with the
Yeah, straight out of East Chicago, man.
Damn, that was it. Stop.
You
got this. I've done this on concrete. You got this.
Yeah, in the old days, I was the Polish blonde and was definitely what we would call the bullied. Yeah, that's it. We were bullied. We were blondes. We were Polish. It was hard. Like we were victims.
Scary.
Oh, look at this.
I got a story I got to share with you guys.
Oh,
we,
your neck. Oh, your head's not supposed to touch the ground on that, sweetheart.
There was no Larry's injured in the making of that half-ass attempt at a backflip. He was okay, well, reasonably, but
oh, I missed it.
Why? Oh, do it again.
Oh,
what
totally.
happened?
This is why there is like a spotting thing called the belt that has like a belt that you wear around in a string on either side that you can have somebody spot you with backflips and things like this. So this does not happen to you. Go ahead, Josh.
It's going to hurt to share my screen because I can't see where.
Just remember, there is no spoon.
It'll be sideways for you guys on here.
That's all right.
Oh no, don't do
This
it.
hurts. This hurts. Warning.
Wait for it.
Oof.
You had me right there.
Too much hesitation. You snooze. Yeah.
Overthinking it.
Overthinking. I've been there. Ow!
Oh, that was scary.
I needed that. Thanks, Larry. And you hear
That was better than I thought it was going to be. The way Cammy screamed the first time, I thought he like
Well, I wasn't quite sure he was going to
really
pop
did.
out of like that. And I've seen people, I mean, with your neck, the way that it came around and landed on his hands. But that move would be illegal in, in competition over the danger of what you would do to your neck having it in that position that close to the floor. Yeah, you should have done it in shoes. And yeah, I'll do a spotter for you, Larry. But I've done some of those too where I've hit the ground like that also.
that was
Larry,
11
don't ever
years
do
ago.
that again. Wheelchair rest of your life in the blink of an eye is right, VK. I know. Do it with a spotter. I've done it with a spotter where my head has still hit the ground, even like where you do it at the end where you have a row of the things in your last move and lose sight of where you are in the air. Yeah, you can mess yourself up with this. It scared me because I've been there, and again, that was much more. It didn't look that bad because he didn't get hurt, but the angle that he came around and came close to the floor, a lot could go wrong.
Oh, was there no
I
video
mean,
for everybody? What the hell?
I know. I'm a bummer, but that's like scary. I watched a video the other day of gymnasts and like different things that they no longer do in gymnastics because it's considered too dangerous. And some of it's good, some of it's bad. But they did not give a warning. A few months ago, there was a girl in college where she landed and both of her legs snapped forward, and you could see both of her legs break um, and this shouldn't like touch the ground at a really bad angle. It was the most horrifying thing that you ever saw. They did not give a warning on it, and it was almost like you needed to give a warning because you felt that you feel them breaking. This you're not seeing nothing is hurting, nothing is breaking, but very
Yeah. I saw a guy do that in a football game. Johnny Knox for the Chicago Bears. Great wide receiver. I'm pretty sure he was returning a kickoff or a punt, something like that. And he went and planted his leg, and a guy came in with his helmet and just landed right on top of his kneecap and his whole leg. They showed it once in slow motion, and they did not show it again. It was that nasty.
Oh, I come back to horrible things.
Oh, I had nightmares about that young man's leg being bent like
Stop.
90 degrees the
La,
wrong
la,
way.
la, la.
Yeah, just horrible.
now some of the I was looking at it. Some of the head motion you did that was too much, too close to the ground. I don't know if you have any gymnastics training or not, but if you did have gymnastics training and you went that low, you probably would have broke your neck because usually when you're making that flip, the thing that propels you around is you always look for that ice cream cone on the wall across it. In other words, as you're going over backwards, you lead with your head and your eyes, and you look for the ice cream cone they teach you as a little kid on that opposite wall. So you're always supposed to remember ahead of everything else, pull your eyes and your neck and the rest of your body follows. You tucked your neck in, which is why you went down, but that was the same thing that saved your neck because you were way too low.
I mean,
don't do it again. Don't do that again without a spotter.
to be fair, that was 11 years ago.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. And
Wow.
he's not had any, I would say, formal gymnastics training, but he's definitely seen a lot of Bruce Lee movies. So there's that.
Got some
Was that
natural
a
talent to
Holiday Inn
spin and
also?
energy.
What was that, Zach?
Was that at a Holiday Inn? If he was at a Holiday Inn, then I would say go for it.
Nope, that was, we were living together at a house out, well, just right down the road from when I lived in O'Fallon and was doing the show in O'Fallon before we moved out here. There was another house that was just down the hill that we had lived in that was ours sort of by proxy. And we were staying there once upon a time. Larry's been a brother from another mother for many a year. Matter of fact, we were drinking on my birthday on the 1st, just a couple weeks ago, last week, drinking some blue margaritas. And I was regaling them all with the tales of how I met Larry over too many blue margaritas at a work function.
Isn't
So
it funny
Larry,
how alcohol can bring people together
It really is.
and then drive them apart
Yep.
at the same time? Yep.
Yeah, he said
Well-
he'd had no training at all on that, and he had just learned it earlier in the day. And I'd say with no training and doing that with any training, you got some skills. I mean, you do. You got some serious skills and put it together. But yeah, glad you're good. Glad it was a fun time and a good drinking night, not a catastrophe. I like it when life works out that way.
I'm sure that was not the night, Larry, because that night, as you recall, I dropped you off and you had to puke all over the bushes in front of your car. And so we weren't really hanging out doing backflips, but I bet you could probably add another 2 or 3 years at least to that, that I've known you. It's probably been going on at least 15 years that I've known Larry. It's crazy. Probably more than that because my
to
son.
my mom the other day about how crazy it is getting old and having memories that are older than people that I know. It's just weird.
Well, that's the thing about those high voltage toys you play with. You may not have those memories for very long.
Yeah, and when you have children, you're reminded every day
No shit.
of a time before these people were alive.
You know, there's people out there, people I know that don't remember anything before like 8 years old, 9 years old. They have no recollection of their young childhood, like at all. That boggles my mind. That does not compute in my head. I have so many vivid memories that I can see it. You know? That, and good memories, bad, traumatic, name it, all of them. I remember all of it. It's not just, you know.
Do you remember ever being in diapers?
No, my earliest memory is like 2.5, and my mom is pulling a splinter out of my foot at the house we lived in Whiting, Indiana, right there on Lake Michigan. She looked so young, she does, in my memory. She had her curly dark hair. She had these big, thick, I was just telling her about this the other day too. She couldn't believe what I was recalling. She had like an orangish, brownish sweater on, big, thick, brown frame glasses. And my brother Michael was on the left, and then Tina and Carrie, my other sisters, were on the right. And I was laying there was the bottom of the stairs going down. There was a concrete floored basement, and it was a wooden staircase, and I got a splinter from that wood. And then there was a table against the wall, opposite side of the staircase. And the wooden table, it was dark brown wood. We had it all the way until the house in Hobart, even. I remember that table. Had a little drawer in it, but it was like dark wood, like a dark finish on it. And I was laying back with my back on that, and she was pulling the splinter out of my foot. That's my very first memory. And I remember it vividly. I remember that house vividly. I remember the neighbors, the crazy guy from down the street. He was like an older teenager. I was in my big wheel out front with my Superman cape or my Batman cape on. And he came and jumped over me in the big wheel, and I just freaked out and started bawling.
Jeez.
Well,
but yeah, I remember all kinds of stuff when I was real little. But I have friends that they say, oh, my first memory was like 9, 10 years old. And it's usually a traumatic event that they remember. Like, my dad died when I was 9.
Yeah.
That's their first memory. You don't remember anything before that? You don't remember your dad growing up?
Oh,
that
that's
you
so
lived
sad.
with? Yeah.
I know. I get astounded when I meet people and talk to them, and I start going, "Yeah, I remember blah 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 blah." And they're like, "How do you remember that?" I don't. And they say the same basic thing. I don't remember anything since before I was 12 or 10 or whatever. It's like, how would your life even be a thing that way? And that's when I
can't
start wondering
even
if the idea
comprehend
of
that.
an NPC is maybe a little more real than we might think.
I can't even
I
comprehend that
can't either. I
because
can't even imagine it because
I
I
recall my
remember
earliest
crazy
memory.
early memories.
Yeah, my earliest memory is pre 1 year. Like I
Oh,
remember
me too,
being
Karen.
a baby
Easy.
in diapers and
Yep.
sucking on a pacifier and using the
Absolutely.
kitchen table chair to pull myself up so I could stand up. Like I remember
All of
that
that.
shit.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. And it's
And
clear memories. It's not like fuzzy, like, oh yeah, sort of.
right?
It's like right there is like clear as a memory from yesterday to me. And I guess that's just different. I don't know. Maybe that whole holding on to that child experience, maybe being an immature fuck, whatever you want to call it, but
Well, and that
just
makes
never
me
losing
wonder
that
if bad
spark,
things
that
happened.
imagination. Well, see, I don't know that that's always it because some of these people I know them pretty well. I know their family pretty well, and it doesn't seem to be the case. Some of them are, cousins and things that I pretty much know
But
the
it
family,
also
and I
makes
I
just
mean,
you
don't
I went
understand.
through some trauma when I was young, and I remember it.
As
I
did
remember
I, broken
before that
arm, a few
and after that.
times. Right,
Now, it
exactly. Yep.
wasn't horrible trauma. I wasn't molested or anything, but it was trauma. I saw some crazy shit, and I still remember it. It's not like I blocked that out. The only thing I've ever blocked out was a motorcycle accident I saw when I was 14.
oof.
I remember right up till the time it happened. I remember it hitting the back of the minivan. And then the next thing I remember was waking up in my bedroom, hearing the sirens going off. And that's the only time I've ever blacked out, not pissed drunk. That's happened plenty of times.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, and I still remember all those memories before that trauma happened when I was 4. So yeah, I don't know. The whole memory thing, maybe there are a bunch of things that I don't remember that I don't know, but there's still a bunch that I do. I can't imagine not remembering 9 years of your childhood.
Yeah, I can't imagine that either because I remember even if I don't remember the whole time frame, like I remember bits and pieces after that point, like before I went to preschool, I remember starting preschool. I remember first and second. Like I remember at least the progressions of time, like
Yeah.
time periods, basically. And I remember certain people that were around me at that time. But yeah.
I
And
remember
then,
telling
but
my mom that, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go to school after my first day of preschool. I think I'm just going to stay home.
smart young man.
I don't really like this stuff. Yeah. All the kids were loud and crying and yelling, and yeah, it just wasn't fun.
No, man. And you know what's crazy too is like they tell you like what don't they say that if you can have a child for the first 7 years of their life, then that's the most impressionable, right? And then you talk to these people who don't even remember that time. Wow, how impressionable they are. They don't even remember what went on at that time. So you could literally teach most of these people anything you want.
Anything you want. They don't
And
remember.
they might not even remember being taught that. They'll just be like, what do you think? Well, I think this, and that. Why? I don't know.
I don't know. I had a
Just do.
pretty severe trauma go on, and now I just don't remember anything of it. Just send me on and let me
Right?
do whatever I want. Monarch programming.
So scary.
It really is.
It's scary. And then, what's the other thing too is like when you're a homeschooler, and I don't know how many people here are homeschoolers, but in most states, at least I don't know every state, you have to check your state. But for around here, like you don't even have to establish your homeschool until your child is 7 years old. You don't even have to say you have one. You don't have to do anything with the state. You don't have to say, hey, I'm not going to put my child in preschool because of XYZ. You don't have to do anything if you're going to homeschool. Just when you're ready to establish your school, you do it when your child is 7 years old, and then you
That's
have your
awesome.
homeschool, and you do it, and that's it. And you can teach
So
them whatever you want as long as they pass their yearly minimal exam, which ain't freaking much. It ain't much.
No, your kids could probably graduate high school today.
at this point, right?
They're
Josh,
not
something you
far
said
off.
really is intriguing right now, the monarch idea. Let me ask you a question, Karen. Growing up as a young kid, Did you see or read a lot of out there stuff?
Well, yeah, like I was saying, my mom used to subscribe to these science magazines.
Well, there you go. Okay, that's true. You just said that.
And I would
So
read
my
those.
mom would have, my whole family would talk about their experiences with the other, with ghosts, with spirits, with things from other,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was part of
that
my
went on in
family,
my family a lot too.
right?
Yes.
Then there was the exposure to, like, my mom would literally wake me up at midnight to come watch King Kong or Frankenstein with her because she was scared, of course, and wanted me to share in that. And I'm like 6, 7, 8 years old, so I had a lot of exposure to stuff that most people would be terrified or scared by at a very early age. Fast forward to the exposure to the madness of the school system, maybe we had been kind of prepped by the exposure to the madness of some of the crazier things we had already seen in our experiences that kept us from having that traumatic snap that let that 9 years before go away, 7 years before just completely go away in a blip of like, holy shit, what's going on around me? This is horrifying. Or some, uh, you know, helpful movie, they show you that some kind of like crazy, insane programming on the screen. I can remember some insane movies they showed us as kids on a projector, that were like flicking lights and crazy shit. And let's all go in these rooms and let's go in this room. And what kind of beeps do you hear? And all that shit. Maybe we were a little prepped by our family and our exposure to other before we got to the programming. I don't know, just an idea.
Possibly. I mean, my mom was a single mom. I don't think it was definitely not conventional for the time, for the 80s, right? It was the,
Right. My
born in
mom too. As well.
77.
Yep.
So it was like the early
Well,
80s.
divorce, not single mom, but divorce for sure, and doing
Yeah.
it on her own and
Yeah.
raising us 3, and
Right. And I was a
definitely had me
latchkey kid.
exposed to things, like going down to the library when I was 7 or 8 to tell him, yeah, let him read Jaws. What are y'all doing? Let him read anything in this library he wants to fucking read.
Were you a latchkey kid? Did you have like a key to your house?
Dude, I
Yeah.
cooked for my younger siblings, and and mom was at
Okay,
work.
well, I was the only child, so I didn't do all that, but I
Oh no,
definitely.
I was and then we all took care of each other, and that kind of helped with
Wow.
our
See,
togetherness.
and this
Oh yeah,
this
So I
echoes a
think
lot of
that's
me
part of
too,
it.
and I just want to throw this out there that I
You
think
too. That's
it's
what I was going to get to, Josh. What was your scary stuff? Go.
well, not really scary stuff per se, but I mean, being latchkey kid, and not that I was exposed to much of the other, but we were very, sort of intellectual in the house. So I was always a reader, and
Reading,
yeah,
perfect, exactly.
I
That's
was
the key,
always
dude.
that
That's the key to me.
elasticity of my
I was
mind.
not a big reader outside of the stuff I read when I was young. I read when I was young because I saw my mom reading a lot, but as I got older, I'm not a very big reader. Like to this day, I'm not a big reader. I will read
Now the
stuff if
fucking
I'm
internet and the
interested.
phone fucked that all up. But I kept reading. I've got books lining behind me and in front of me. So yeah, I guess that was part of it too, Josh. I didn't even think about that. Absolutely.
But maybe it's like an old soul issue.
We're just bringing
It's
stuff
because
and
we
keeping it.
know we need to remember.
That's it.
I think it's
Dude.
old
I
soul
remember
stuff.
saying that as a young well, I won't even say it. In the crib for sure. Perhaps prior to being in the crib, even I remember it. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. I remember that as a mantra going inside me all the time. It's spooky, like I'm getting the truth bumps right now saying it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It has to be part of it. I mean, that idea of the elasticity of the brain able to deal with that shock of the monarch fucking
Maybe
crushing
we
the
were
school
just
system.
we were growing up at a time where it was like the in between time. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always those transitional periods from one major change to another. And there has to be an in between.
Yeah, could be too. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of not, we were, the old form of bullshit was kind of going away and the new form was being set in place, and we were kind of just in there. Am I hippie? Am I
And
rocker?
there's
What
enough
am I?
of the older people around us at that time where we were able to still be influenced by it.
Yeah, I definitely think looking at school and what they're teaching kids, and again, they don't teach them how to think anymore. They teach them how to memorize and what to think. But I think that transition is for sure like intentionally going on where it's again more of a compartmentalized everything, like getting turned into math and things they don't want you to look at that would have inspired curiosity being ruined for you. But I do think that there's a huge transition that again, a very especially from the 60s, late 60s on there, you can almost take it in little steps and again watch the different old TV and the old children and that and see, you know, what we've done. And a lot of that was getting the mothers to work. So we didn't. So what's going on, and even now, again, so many of us, so many people my age are looking and saying that the problems that are happening, no, that they're not happening. That would be absolutely absurd. It couldn't possibly be happening. Think it's a joke, and find out that it really is real. And so again, it's amazing how quickly time passes and how quickly things change. And you take it all to digital, and you can change the digital right with the history. Seems like a part of the plan. And again, right now we have children that cannot read cursive, fact. So the journals and things like that, they might as well be in a foreign language.
And with everything digital, I mean, we see them change it right in front of our eyes. How many times has Jaron gone and pulled something off NASA, or when Rob Skiba did it, and then you go there 2-3 days later and try it yourself, and they're gone.
Yeah, they change shit a lot.
Even the little things, Karen, you saw the little, I clicked and I was getting a bug vacuum for my sunroom to let get bugs without crushing them. Oh God. So I even sent Karen a copy of the ad. It was on Amazon, and you just wondered if in the first sentence where they had heroin in the first sentence for a drug, little, bug buster, you're like, oh, they mean here on in.
Yeah.
They're just people from a different country that mean here on in. But then they talked in the next sentence about marijuana on the ceiling, and then the alcohol filters. And the cigarette filters, I'm sorry, and the alcohol, and it's like, oh my God, this is like it's AI writing the description. It had all the drugs in it.
Every search they could possibly trigger.
And so I went to look at it. It's gone. It's all changed now. The description is gone. If you go into that, it's they're still selling them, but that description's not there anymore. It's not talking about the marijuana on the ceiling anymore.
Oh my God.
But it did. You laughed at it the other day. It's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was cuckoo. I saw it.
And I'd show y'all, but you know what? When I pull into it, it's gone. It's changed. That's what they do with digital. They can mess with history, mess with anything, mess with.
Yeah.
I know my searches and coming back, I was looking for videos on little metal filings and that to get an easy demo on something. And they didn't have quadruples or anything done. I've looked at it before I pulled up. I haven't saved the videos because why would you? There's a million videos. They just selectively take out what they want. Also, everybody, I'm sure, is following what happened with Alex Jones and the scare away almost $1 billion settlements with the SH children's families or whatever. I'm sure we were doing that. But in the background, you're also seeing, I saw a story that came up today that this was right now. This was like, I think a channel called like Your Favorite Mortician or whatever she's a mortician and does like shipwrecks and different documentaries and that. And they put all of this with YouTube and doing it. They put all of this money into making this done documentary about a shipwreck. And it violated community guidelines, and they couldn't tell them why or what a shipwreck. So you have like different channels. That this was her like 600,000 view video that she got up there and that got slapped or something. But it's not just what I'm meaning to say with this and taking it the long way. It's not just the conspiracy people or that. It's all kinds of people throughout on YouTube that have any kind of quirky channel at all that they're testing the limits with and pulling things off of. And it's kind of spooky and fascinating at the same time, just how far they are reaching with this and the guideline strikes and how they're getting applied across in areas that you would never. There's a lawyer that got taken down that just got put back up, and another lawyer that got a community guideline strike over not any opinion at all, but just reading transcripts from a trial.
I'm
because of
surprised
what was
that
in.
my channel hasn't been hit lately, to be honest, because I really don't censor myself on coffee talk. And I don't know if it's just because it's so boring and there's the coffee talk music and whatnot, but I swear I've said so many things on that show, and I'm just like, I can't believe they haven't come for me.
They've had to have changed the algorithms.
They're probably just waiting.
They're rating on random different things and going on, but it's almost like they're testing the market in really weird areas. I thought it was interesting that, again, with the law tube and the lawyers, that they would take down a lawyer with a community guideline strike that doesn't do commentary, that reads transcripts and goes over without really any opinion.
Yeah.
So again, a lawyer. So you'll have, but like the lawyer said, there's no with YouTube. There's nobody you can even write to or get a hold of with it. So it's funny seeing what's going on with how many different weird areas and quirky areas that are making noise that weren't before.
Yeah, we talked about Alex Jones a little bit earlier in the show, the early show today, and Josh came out and just flat out, laid it out there. And
I heard that this morning, by the way. I was up at 5 a.m. and I heard you guys. I just didn't come in the chat because I was like, please let me fall asleep again. But I was
I
totally
know that feeling.
when you guys were talking about that.
yes, I mean, yeah, it is nice flying under a radar somewhat. I kind of love it, really, because we can almost say whatever we want to, and maybe it's because
Yeah.
we played to a select few.
Maybe
and
if
we
you
don't
bury it in enough chat with other stuff, it's not as noticeable. I don't know. Like, I feel like the stuff that I've said on there,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Honestly.
Well, I mentioned this morning that I ran across a video from Dr. Drew. And the things that Dr. Drew were saying were getting people ripped off of YouTube for the last 2 years. And for me to be able to sit down, and I think this was the one that I'd watched. What's it called? Yep. Ed Dowd. Sudden adult deaths since 2021. Ed Dowd, an ex BlackRock manager with Dr. Kelly Victory, asked Dr. Drew. And it goes on to discuss about all of these reported rise in perfectly healthy adults just keeling over dead, and
Right.
how it's relating to people getting jabbed. And I mean, even the title of one of his videos was like more vaccines
free
equals
ads
more
every month.
deaths. It was all kinds of crazy stuff. I just couldn't believe that he was even attempting to put this more doses equals more deaths ? Yeah, talking about the mRNA vaccine not being tested and people questioning the mRNA vaccine and just all
Now, is
kinds
that
of
the key word, though? A question mark? If
maybe
you ask a question, it's a lot different than making a statement.
no,
No,
not in
because
my
they've drawn some
experience.
other much dustier lines and other people and other.
Well, because inciting is a thing too
So
from YouTube.
yeah, and then we also add all of that to that. This whole little PayPal bullshit that kind of went by with a lot of people missing. Apparently,
Uh-huh.
they put out a
Oh,
statement saying they were going to take a $1,500 fucking chunk of your money away from you
2000, yeah.
because you were putting out misinformation in some
That's the
form
other
on
thing that
Twitter,
freaked
blah blah
me
blah,
out.
whatever. And so immediately people started canceling their accounts, and they put out oh, we didn't say that, it was a mistake, that should never have been put into the public view. So yeah, a lot of people canceled their shit there. So yeah, it does
Yeah,
seem like they're trying to muddy the fucking waters in every kind of way they can.
push and push and push with it. Yeah, they wouldn't have gotten the pushback. But yeah, that was like the funniest. That was the most select clerical. That was an error. It wasn't supposed to go out, but it was so specific and so line for line saying exactly what they would do, how, the legalist of that was like just an accident. We didn't mean for that to be there. It's like it just slipped in. It's like do you know how many lawyers go over their stuff? You don't just slip in accidentally verbiage like that. But yeah, they scare you in every way. Making that Iron Realm moment. See how long you can go without saying a word. It's challenging.
That is how we do it, though.
I was just reading some awesome stuff in chat. Thank you, Daz. This show is the freest, most open-minded live show perhaps in the history of mankind. You're awesome, man. It's just the people we get to hang out with. That's all that makes it anything it is. Trust me.
And I think Val and VK there in chat was right. I think it's $2,500 they were going to
Is it 25? I thought it was 15.
extricate
Yeah,
from
there
your
we go.
accounts.
Good
No, I'm pretty
Lord.
sure it was 25.
And then you also had the thing going on where you had the Surgeon General of Florida issue his health statements too, because I think, and this only applies to Florida or whatever, so it's not health misinformation, but Florida does not recommend the vaccine for males under 39 or any of the population under 18. But the Surgeon General of Florida's medical went against community guideline standards on Twitter, even though it was giving health guidelines for Florida. So they removed all of his stuff, but then they wound up putting it back up because he's issuing the health guidelines as the authority. And so, you got
that's
the
not his
yeah,
opinion. That's the guideline.
that's the guideline.
This is the guy who makes the guideline. Now you're censoring the guideline because you don't like what it says. Crazy.
So yeah, that was interesting. You had the Surgeon General get censored or kicked off Twitter for 18 hours. Just fun stuff going on.
That's crazy. And you know what's like, how many people do you even think about like males 18 to 39? Those are like our most able-bodied, strongest males. And that's who's being affected by this the most. Like, clearly, they're targeting. And those are the guys, those are the males that we need to fight for us. Those are the males who are protecting,
Oh, yeah, those are the guys out there on the
men who have
highways.
families.
Yeah, building highways and
Yeah,
welding
right?
water, all these horrible, dangerous jobs that I don't want to do.
These are like men in the prime of their lives. 18 to 39? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's your infrastructure right there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Crazy. No, Florida, I mean, I can't stand any politics or politicians or any of that nonsense, but it seems like they are setting a tone for, the right, we'll say. Not like wrong or right, but as in right or left.
Yeah.
As in good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing good cop. And then you have
That's how I
California,
see it, yeah.
New York, Illinois.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, there's quite a few of them that are playing bad cop. Yeah,
They're trying, it's clear they're trying to divide the whole nation. It's
Mhm.
working.
Yeah, it's so much easier to control people when they're all fighting each other and not mad at you.
And sick. Oh. And the hurts aren't working, but never mind. I didn't say that.
Right. And don't garden, causes heart problems.
Yeah, the federal government is trying to say that you need to register your garden. They're wanting to make a new thing.
Fuck up out of here.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, slightly.
Guerrilla garden time, baby. You ain't gonna see my garden with your satellite. Balloon.
As a helicopter goes over our house, Zach.
Right,
I know, helicopters go over my
go
house
check
all
it,
the
go
time.
check it. What color is it? Changing shape? What's up, Logan Cook? Thank you for that super chat. Much love. Wish I was coming to see y'all next week.
Oh, I wish you
could
were
see you as well, Logan. Wish I could see all y'all.
Yeah, these events are like nothing. It's hard to explain. It's a family reunion that you want to go to.
Yeah, I would keep telling people, I'm like, when you get to the park, it'll say F.E. family.
Yep.
This is giving me the energy, that little kick I need to, it's really happening. It's a week away.
I know. You know what? I have to admit that I've been feeling so bummed out. I'm so drained.
Me too. That's so funny.
Just incredibly drained. And then people will be like, "Aren't you excited?" I'm so excited. I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm so excited."
I'm trying to get. I'm really trying. Yeah, working on the.
I think it's that moon, y'all. That
But
moon is
now I
pulling
feel
energy away
better. I'm
from
starting to
everybody.
feel more excited now that it's only a week away and like everything's set. You know, it just for me, it's always work. So it's like I have to make sure that everything's in place. And now I know everything's in place. But still, even though while the event's going on, I'll still be stressed out because it's like it's never over until it's actually physically over, like till the end of
I
it.
hate
But
seeing
that's
you
part.
with these, Karen.
Hmm?
When it's all over on Sunday night, you're glowing. You're just glowing. But from like Saturday morning until that Sunday night, oh man, you are not. You don't look happy. I'll
I
just
know.
say that.
I know because I'm just stressed. I want everything to go right, and I want everybody to have a wonderful time, and I want the speakers to, be able to do their thing. I'm just wanting to make sure everything goes right.
And no
So
matter how much you plan in advance, and you every year you because of experiences you add more to it, so you think you have more things covered. But when it's event time, you just never know what the fuck is going to happen or what can and will go wrong. Or what again, your last minute, something's gonna get thrown at you. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be your person like opening the doors with all the bracelets and everything not showing up? I did that to you one year. It's gonna be leaving a name off of a T-shirt. That was my favorite one. I'm sorry, that was
yeah,
that when we were like laughing. Mark is so wonderful. I'm so glad he's such a good sport.
yeah, and we get Mark back this year. It's
And we
gonna
get
be
him
so
back.
fun.
You're gonna be seeing him Tuesday, just a few more days away.
Yeah, he's gonna be sitting right next to me. I'm gonna make him do Strange World right next to me here. It's gonna
Oh,
be
that's
fun.
awesome.
So y'all think that they should be on two cameras or on the sharing the same camera?
I
Should
don't
be like
know.
5
Well, I
cameras.
mean, for logistics, it would be much easier to be separate cameras because you guys would each have your own little space. But for the rarity of it being an event, it's much cooler to see you guys sit next to each other on the same camera. That's what me and
Yeah.
Zach did when he came over to my house.
Well, truth be told, there's not very much room behind my
That's
desk.
the thing. We had to really make a hole over here in my little tiny hole I've dug out for my studio and all the
Like Mark's
sporting
gonna get here and he's gonna
goes
just
on at my
bitch.
house.
I just
Right.
know.
Right. I know. That's me. I've got
Gonna be
people
like,
probably coming to
what
visit
is
me and they're
this?
going to be going like, who in the fuck are you living like, Walt? Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to have all this stuff.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, Mark. Like the last time Mark was here, he didn't even like step off of the pavement onto the dirt. And I live in the woods surrounded by trees. Like,
Didn't even go into Caroline. We found a tree while he was here that had Dale Earnhardt carved into it in his
yeah.
first wife's initials.
You
And he
can go.
did not go down there to see it.
And he was the biggest one bragging about it afterwards. He put it on his channel and he's like, "Oh, these people want to come see your tree." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not emailing those people."
Yeah, no.
I'm like, if you want people to come see the tree, you can come hang out here and show them the tour.
Yeah, like because again, the reason he had the video to put up on his website that you can go and see Dale Earnhardt's sweetheart tree was because I videotaped the tree for him because he would not go into the forest and get his shoes dirty in his hand. He would not go into the forest. But it was a Dale Earnhardt tree, and he was very, very excited that we made a video that was taken on the property he was on, but in the forest at the stream.
Yeah.
And I teased him big time about not going outside, so that was like a lot of fun for me.
Oh, I teased him to this day. I'll say.
In fact, I've even offered.
Mark, you gonna bring the right shoes so you can step off the pavement this year?
I asked him when he was getting a new place up in Washington because it's got some land around him now, if he needed me to come up so I could tell him what his land looked like.
So funny.
But,
That's
and you wonder, it's like, has he seen it? It's really pretty there. But it's the outside.
Soft hands, you know.
His hands are so soft. They really are soft hands. His hands are much softer than mine, but I do go out in the dirt and the
Yeah,
rocks
his
and
hands are soft.
they are.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
starting to get my
precious.
calluses, my fingertip calluses back from playing guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, baby.
I played the other day for like probably 25 minutes, Walt, and my fingers didn't even get tired.
Hell yeah.
I couldn't believe
Good.
it.
How
Yeah,
many?
people don't realize how hard it is to play like, 6, 7 songs in a row with no little break in between.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
tender
And
fingers.
truly, to do it like an acoustic guitar and to hold those chords for that steady 25 minutes like you're doing is really way more than I'm doing for my little hour and a half of because my buddy will come over with his acoustic, I'll pull mine out and we'll start playing songs I used to know 10 years ago, and my hand will start aching from holding a chord
oh yeah, you got to
versus
push a
running
lot harder.
scales and doing bends and doing all these things. Well, even doing it on an acoustic, electric, holding chords long time versus just running scales and doing acrobatics is a whole
Hey,
different skill set.
do I get some
And it
sympathy
hurts.
for having a callus from the big lighter?
The who?
The lighter, the big lighter. I
That's
I want some
I
sympathy.
have one probably on that thumb as well. Don't feel bad, Candy. Yeah.
And sometimes a little burn to go with the callus.
I use that callus when I'm doing a little pinch harmonic, actually. So it all works out.
You're roboting Zach.
Yeah, no.
It's the sound of Zach with the Tesla coil and the other toys. It's exciting. The sound. Come back, Zach. No, we're lost.
Has my phone decided that I should shut up now? Is that what I'm hearing?
It could have.
It,
It could have.
My phone is my manager, my handler. It tells me when I
It's
stop
time to
talking.
shut the end, right?
We're all just prisoners here.
oh, my phone's got all kinds of messages that I didn't see because it's been dead for a couple of days because I didn't plug it in. And if I did not return a message, it's because I was outside and didn't see it.
Speaking of which, shout out to Flat Earth Farms. Hope your clutch is doing better. Appreciate you making the trip into town.
Daryl.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed it is.
The event, Daryl.
Daryl, I did send a message back to you that I just got when my phone came up, and the answer is, of course, always without saying. So that was just a question on sending some things here. I had, or doing different things location-wise here. But yes, of course, Daryl.
And if you guys aren't
Everything's a yes.
subbed to the Flat Earth Farms new channel over there, Daryl's new gig, go over there and get that man's sub count up. If anybody needs to have way over 1,000 subs, it is this gentleman.
I'm going to
And
go.
as I said there on
Channel? I didn't
Telegram,
realize he had a
reach
channel.
out to me. Yeah, he just got it kicked off. So
Because
definitely reach out to me, Daryl. We're going to make that thing pop, my friend. Reach out.
I
reach out.
wasn't sure. I was not sure when I saw that because it wasn't just Daryl.
That's awesome, Daryl.
Subscribe. I'm in. All beautiful.
And a lot of new
Sorry.
people there I saw in chat tonight. Among those, good night and sleep well. You're probably already gone there, Lizzo French, but thank you for hanging out with us. And a couple of new people. Thank y'all. It's always good to see new faces. I'm trying to scroll back, but it's fighting me, so I don't give up.
Well, we started a little bit late. Liz was tired tonight, so I did wish earlier. And if she was here, Liz, the Iron Maid, was of course here. But
Yes,
isn't
she was.
Dreamland Nan?
Get with me, friend. He said right now he's trying to get a new video up, but he's struggling because he's a rookie dude. I can show you how to be the best rookie ever with YouTube. No, I'll give you a hand, brother. Get with me. I'm probably after the call if you want to. And if not, if not, I'll be here most of the weekend. So just help me out.
That's right. We'll definitely help you out. We are veteran rookies around here.
Veteran rookies. That's pretty much, that's how I feel. Veteran rookie. A good explanation.
But
Well, it's better than the experts, which the X was a has been and a spurt is a drip under pressure. So we can be like permanent rookies.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Let's see if we can't make that a little bigger for all to see.
Another Zabala original.
Turned out so good. It's a hat original.
Oh, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Zach is like amazing. He was knitting this while putting together all the little boxes with the styrofoam wrap that he wrapped for hours and hours to hold the little gas tubes today and getting everything all ready and the neat little crochet. And he's been working on this for a while and it's just turning out so nice. He's so skilled and so nice. He's like love goes into it. Yeah, it is dope. It's totally dope. Can't wait to show you. We have something else to show you.
It'll outlast all of us too.
As long as you don't let dogs at it. I've gone through a few, to be fair.
Yeah, there is a dog clause. So I'm sorry, Cameron, what were you about to say?
Oh no, keep going. I'm loving it. I'm distracted by the hat.
I muted up. Sorry, shit. I was back in the chat.
Yeah, I forget what I was going to say. I'm trying to stay up later. It's already 9:30. Party.
Are you trying to prepare for staying up for Flattoberfest?
Yes. Well, yeah, you made it awesome, and it starts at noon, so I get to sleep in, and I get to watch people sing karaoke Friday night, and whatever happens. I don't even know what goes on Saturday night. Usually, I can't talk, and I'm exhausted. But no, I've been staying up late these last few, like this last week, trying to stay up till like 1 o'clock. It's insane, but I'm doing it. About ready to make another coffee so I can stay up for a few more hours.
Oh my gosh. I made coffee for myself this last Tuesday for Strange World, and I was up till like after 3 a.m. And I was so wrecked the next day. I was like, I just can't do this anymore.
It's a labor of love. It really is. I can't even do Strange World. Usually that's way too late for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Tuesday, we were doing shoot stings. I was shoot stings, I think, with Nemo.
Yeah, I've got myself pretty well trained.
Oops, sorry.
Huh?
I think Nemo just started his vacation. Didn't I see that in the chat? I may have been reading it wrong. I'm trying to scroll through.
He may have just started his weekend. I know he was working earlier. Big shout out, Brian Stavely in chat. What's up, Brian?
What's up, Brian? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
A lot of people are starting their Flattoberfest week.
They're getting started. I've been doing the opposite of Zach, where he's been staying up late and doing more. I've been like getting lots of sleep, thinking like I'm trying to get pre-rested because I know that like I'm not going to want to sleep once everybody gets here. And it's harder when you're older. It's so much easier when you're young and party all night. You still want to party all night, but boy, I'm ready. I'm going to try.
I do that too, Cammie. I'm like, I'm home. I'm not doing anything pretty much this week except for prep for the event, but nothing intense.
Right. Just calm and easy as we go and then enjoy. I am ready. Well, actually, I'm not. I have to finish putting stuff together, but I'm excited, and it's going to happen no matter what. Ready or not, here it comes.
Yeah. Watson was messaging me today. He's like, "Are you ready?" I was like, almost."
Is Watson going to be here?
Yeah, Watson's gonna be here. He's picking up Chief Crow for me from the airport. He's Chief Crow's caretaker for the weekend because they're good buddies.
Bodyguard. Yeah, Watson's awesome.
Yeah.
The drawings he does are just
Oh yeah, he sent me pictures of some jacket that he hand painted, and it's so beautiful.
trying to
And
think of the
then,
right word for his art.
It's like very tribal.
Is sacral a word?
Sacral, yeah, sacral, tribal. It's like,
Yeah, it's very geometric.
yeah, he uses a lot of geometric shapes, and he's like a black and gray, and he uses runes and stuff,
Well, I'm playing
symbology.
catch up. I know the name, but the art apparently I haven't seen. Drop me some links or somewhere to see it.
definitely, I can work
Should
on that
send him
right
to
now.
Watson's Instagram. Watson's got an Instagram with all his work on it.
Yeah, drop me that if somebody has it
Drop that
handy.
because I don't have
go to
Instagram.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, I can find it. And I'll
In
send
fact,
it.
when I went back to it recently for some reason, where did it go? Oh, for Bobcat. I had to go reset my password and all that. I couldn't even remember how to get in it.
Oh, you can even put him up in Google and get images
Yeah.
with his tattoos and that. Very fine line detailed and just out of this world.
Oh, it says private, but I'm sure you could request a follow and get in there. But
Do you have Facebook, Walt, or what do you have?
I can do any of them. I'm never on any of them, but I'll do anything to hook up with something cool. Let me get open here for Facebook.
Well,
So what do
here,
I
I'll
look up
even
on Facebook?
Watson Atkinson,
and it's
Yeah, I think we're already
WATS
probably. I think that's already on my list.
SUN.
Yeah,
SUN. It's Watson WATSUN Atkinson with the SUN.
yeah, yep. I didn't even have to type it out. So either I'm friends with him already, or he's friends with enough people to meet, so he came right up. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Fucking hell. I
Are
love
you
that.
sharing it, or can you share it on
No,
the
no,
screen?
I'm not, but I can. Hang on. Let me see the
So yeah, he does
Oh no,
beautiful
we're not putting
art.
it up yet, but we are. I'm seeing the artwork. Let me go.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff.
How do I do these things?
If
Share.
like I was gonna have my guitar painted on it one time,
Dude, I'm thinking it right now. I've already got my sister-in-law gonna do one guitar for me, but I would definitely talk to
I would
Watson.
love to have him do something. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
I was
That
gonna
is
have my buddy's dad, who is a professional mural painter, and I'm so glad I didn't. I was gonna have him put John Lennon on my guitar. Because back in the day, I was a huge Lennon fan, and I'm so glad I didn't. I
Yeah,
actually
this
showed up
speaks
the
deeply
day
to
he
me,
was
like in
gonna
a very
start.
soulful place. It's
Oh
It
yeah.
should. Yeah, it's got all the elements in place. That's what
Well,
he
he's
does.
a very deep thinker, and he's very artistic and creative, and he's really tapped in. He's super creative.
oh
And
wow.
speaking
Holy,
of,
that is so great.
well, Karen, show your hand. I mean, Watson. I was there when
Oh
he was
yeah.
doing her hands.
Okay, hold on, let me stop sharing. Let me get back to you. Karen. Let me pin you up and I can share
Oh
it.
no, are my lights too bright?
It might be too bright. Back up a hair. Like put it like right in front of your face, because that the light it hits your face right. You know what I'm saying? It's not too bright on your face. So
Let me turn my.
and she's disappeared. She is a hologram. Oh yeah, those were awesome, man. Yeah, really, really awesome.
And then spectacularly artistic. Do we have confirmation on Mr. Pontius, or are you waiting to announce that big? Or
Yeah, that's awesome. Very awesome.
I don't. I. Everybody's telling me that he's coming, so I'm not sure. I hear he is, but I'm not sure.
I hear it as a pretty for sure type of thing, though.
Yeah, so do I. I think he might be there.
Well, hopefully we can put that up to confirm because that's a good one to confirm he's there because he's got some neat stuff. And he hasn't talked to you?
No, I haven't talked to him for a while. Like once in a while he'll email me and once in a while he'll call into Strange World, but I haven't heard from him lately, but it could just be that he's been so busy. But I don't know. But of course, I talked to Rick.
Everybody has, yes.
Yeah, like everybody, yeah. And Rick's showing up, so maybe it'll be a bigger deal. It's going to be like old times.
It's going to be fun. It's going
Yeah.
to be fun.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be I'm really feeling good about the event now. I feel like everybody who should be there will be there, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing time.
Days
Best
away.
apocalypse ever.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
What do you guys say? You guys about ready?
I reckon it's getting to be about that time. I reckon.
I got a guitar in my hand.
Look at you go.
When I grow up, I want to get me one of them electric guitars. You ever seen that Neil Young in concert? He'd come out and do his acoustic set, and he'd ride out on a big wheel, and he had like a real big bed there, and he looked like a child. And he'd say, when I grow up, I want to get me an electric guitar, and then he'd come out with an electric guitar as an adult. Neat stuff.
It's good shit.
I want a big wheel.
So you're gonna play us out? Is that what's going on?
No.
What?
No. Can you guys even hear that?
Yes.
For a rare occurrence, it's not blocking it. So yeah, play some shit.
All right. Night all. Love y'all.
Thank you all. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Thanks for coming to hang out and keeping everybody updated about this fabulous upcoming Flattoberfest.
Thanks for having me.
There. Brian, can you drop a link in the chat on that again, or I can find it again?
And much apologies for a little call-in mix-up earlier.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. I yelled and I got all my frustrations out, and
There we go.
all good.
Yes. Thank you for being you, Karen, and letting us know and not just letting it fester and build up. And yeah.
No, once I said it, that was it. It was done.
Thank you all in chat. Thank you for the chats, the tips, the love, the new people. Thank you all. The scouts, thank you all. Love you all for being here. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I guess with that, we're going to let Zach play us out this evening, but we hope to get you guys back here next Friday for more Have No Sphere right here on the Ironworx. Or you can check us out on Tuesday, Friday mornings, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central for the Ironworx, truthfrequencyradio.com, tfrlive.com, or, of course, here the YouTube, Rockfed, DLive, Twitter, Facebook, the usual places. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We love you. Be good. Be well. Bye-bye.
Well, I dreamed I saw the knights in armor come and saying something about a queen. There were peasants singing and drummers drumming, and the archer split the tree. There was a fanfare blowing up to the sun that floated on the breeze. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s.
Still Mother Nature's on the run from the 1970s. I was lying in a burned out basement with the full moon in my eye. I was hoping for a replacement when the sun burst through the sky. There was a band playing in my head. I felt like getting high, thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie. Thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie. Well, I dreamed I saw the silver spaceships flying in the yellow haze of the sun. There were children crying and colors flying all around the chosen one. All in that dream, all in that dream, the loading had begun. Flying Mother Nature filled the sea to a new home in the sun. Flying Mother Nature silver sea to a new home